on with the Greenville goaltender? Is he going to go straight down the tunnel? Let's see. Maybe an injury to Isaiah Seville, Brosy. Oh, no, let's take a look. Went right toward the front. Oh, looks like he got maybe the leg of Brendan Hoffman on that flyby from number 9. And you can see immediately as here's the top-down angle. We get a good look at it here. Oh, yeah, a couple of shots inadvertently, of course, from Hoffman as he's just trying to dive toward that puck. Seville takes a couple of hits to the head and goes right down the tunnel. So that's not what you want to see there. And it looks like the backup goaltender, Matthias Scholl, is coming in to replace him. So, a change of events here in the first period with 5:05 to go. Isaiah Seville out of the game and Matthias Scholl in.
It was accidental, but when it involves your goalie,
of course. So Matthias Scholl enters action. Last game for him was January 31st, less than a week ago, against the Utah Grizzlies. 28 saves on 31 shots in a win for the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. They had swept the Utah Grizzlies, of course. They won that game by a score of 6-3.
Changed the shooting sequence, you know.
Yeah.
It's now a left-handed catching goalie.
Previously, Scholl survived in a 4-3 win on January 23rd. His squad got outshot 22-3 in the third period. He still picked up the win as the Steelheads firing away here, trying to beat him. Have this puck down low below that goal line. Lovell in the trapezoid will possess as he works it free. But Matthias Scholl, 18 games played this season, 7-7-2 record, a .250 goals against, .920 save percentage. Here's Pearson down low, firing on. First test for Scholl. He comes up with the save. Skating out of his blue crease. There's not many guys you're going to be tested more so than by Caleb Pearson.
I know Pearson wants that one back because what a pass by Pelton Bice.
How many times you say that a game? What a pass by Pelton Bice.
Yeah.
Talked to both Pearson and Malmquist this week. They said the same things about Pelton Bice and that playmaking ability and how nice it is to be on a line with a guy like that where it's on display. Malmquist said, yeah, I just go to the front of the net and wait and see what happens. Here is Malmquist rimming it around to the far side. Boltman right point, dishing down low, back for Malmquist. At the half wall, he continues to possess up toward the line, just out to the neutral zone. It's turned over a couple of times here, finally back to Steelheads' possession, as they now launch it back into the offensive zone. 4:15 to go in the first. Steelheads and Swamp Rabbits tied 1-1. Out of his own zone at the far side ice. Polino taken down. Got the outstretched pass from Lovell. Now the Steelheads on it in their own end. Here's Silanoff far side. Shielding this one away from Sheriff. It's into the offensive zone. Silanoff and McDonnell far half wall at the right point. Joining that battle is Hershuk as it's Pride free back out to the neutral zone. Jardine will skate into this one in his own zone. 3:40 to go first period, still tied 1-1. Near side Steinmetz in front of the benches. Offers this one in as he's taken down hard by Fraser. Couple of checks. Steinmetz goes down. No arm up in the air. Looked like the puck might have went right back into the bench as well as we have a whistle with 3:31 to go. That was a very hard hit down there, Brosy.
I couldn't see it, but I heard it because I'm blocked by the bench.
Yeah, here's another look at it. First lick there, and then the second one up high from Fraser as Steinmetz went down. Joshua Burkhart, the linesman, right in front of it there. Tyler Haskell and Dominic Valentine remain from Wednesday's contest. Burkhart on the lines replacing Eric Landquist from Wednesday. Neutral zone faceoff won by Greenville. They possess in the neutral zone in front of the penalty boxes. Toward the offensive end, it's an offside whistle, as just in a little bit early was Polino. 3:21 to go in period number 1. And to our shots conversation. Shots on goal 14-6 in favor of Idaho. Center ice face-off at the logo. Polino versus Steinmetz. It's lost in some skates. Now finds Sheriff, who moves it back to his defenseman Fraser. Up the near side, it's tipped into the offensive end by Polino. Cross will stop it in the trapezoid, lay it off for Baum up the middle of the ice now. Here's Silanoff, 2-on-2 with McDonnell. Into the offensive end, left circle, McDonnell fires. Save made by Scholl. McDonnell had tumbled down. He's getting into it with Fraser a little bit here in the near side corner. Things are settling down now as we take another look at that chance from McDonnell. See, he was shoved down by Fraser on that instance, and now everyone's got a partner. Silanoff involved as well. Should say, Rosie, it was great to meet and interview some of the Edina moms earlier today. Lori Silanoff, Stacy Nevers, Patricia Malmquist, kind enough to sit down for a chat and kind enough to speak with us as they're all three in town to watch their boys play.
Yeah, and shout out to Boltman's mom.
Yeah, Trish Boltman. They wanted to make sure that she got a proper shout out as she was not able to attend this weekend.
The Fab Four.
Yeah.
I'm already prepared for, Edina Moms Gone Wild, the movie.
Having a fun time in Boise. Hitting up some good spots. Getting the full Boise experience and enjoying some Steelheads hockey along the way. Here's Kanade, left wing side, entering the offensive zone, curls up left circle, dishes further down low as it's kept down low now to Jade Miller. Up to the right side, Boltman winds, fires, save in front, comes loose in the crease. Steelheads trying to poke this one free. Nevers finally gets on it.
Oh, good work.
To the near side, Nevers still battling for that puck. It comes free to Kanade, left circle, back to the point. Kanade finds Boltman, now to punt it left side. High slot, off the stick of Kanade to Jade Miller, centering in front, backdoor, Nevers scores! Steelheads cash in late in the first period. A centering pass found Mason Nevers at the back door. And the Steelheads take a 2-1 lead with 2:25 to go in the opening frame.
Did everybody touch the puck?
Lord, it felt like it for a second, Brosy. What passing by the Steelheads. Just start to count them up here. Boltman to punt it. Kanade, Miller, and yep, there's number 5, Mason Nevers. As he's the final one to touch it up and put it into the back of the net. Mason Nevers puts home his 4th goal of the season. As right on cue, it's an Edina boy finding the back of the net.
Yeah.
2:25 to go. How about that for Mason Nevers? 2 goals in his last 3 games. Had a a shorthanded goal on Sunday. Here the Steelheads coming in. 2-on-1. Wall with Todero. Wall fires. Save made. Steelheads trying to get back on it. Right circle. It's fended away by Atkinson. Hoffman and Atkinson battle in the corner. Into the trapezoid. It's free for Wall. Couldn't center that puck as Chris Dodero hops on it near side, tries to keep the line, works it down low. Hoffman will shield away the check from Atkinson as the 2 teams battle down low. Now up high to Wall. Wall in front, looking for the tip. It bounces up into the air, and it's whacked aside by Lovell.
Nice tip. Who was that tipping in?
Hard
in
to
the
tell
front of the net
with all the bodies in front. However, there is an arm up in the air, and someone's going to the box here, and it appears to be Josh Atkinson. He's got some words for Brendan Hoffman. Those two had been battling on the last couple of shifts. And with 1:54 to go in the first, it's the Steelheads going back to the ICCU power play. There's the tip by Chris Dodero. That might have been going into the back of the net there.
Yeah.
But the Steelheads will take the power play nonetheless. And they get to work once more. Atkinson, you see there, having some words after the whistle. So, back to the ICCU power play for the Steelheads with $1:54 to go in period 1. Offensive zone draw, controlled by Idaho, back to the point for Baum. Left side, Malmquist, top of the left circle, back to the point. Baum fakes the shot, moves it right. Pearson drifting in, shoots, save made. Greenville on it, and it's Shandor spinning and clearing all the way down. That's the look, Rosie, you want. Caleb Pearson coming down the slot. Good look early on the power play for the Steelheads.
Yeah, don't settle it down too much. Take the shot.
Here's Pearson, 1 versus 4, dishes right side to Hoffman. Once more down low to Pearson, who offers a hard check on Fraser. And the puck is turned over, sent all the way out. Pearson trying to get physical there and see if he could gain positioning on Fraser. But that time Greenville able to do just enough to clear the puck out. Should be noted, Rosie, shots on goal 20-6 for the Steelheads in the final minute of this period. They've been wiring them on. They're 5 shots short of their game total from Wednesday. Shorthanded look, though, for Greenville. Nice defensive play by Jeff Baum to break that up. 1 minute to go in the first period. 1:05 to go on the power play. Up the middle of the ice is Caleb Pearson. Drifting right side. Pearson at the right circle, works it down low below the goal line. Finds Pelton Weiss left side. Up high to Charlie Dodero. To the left for Malmquist, high slot. Left circle, Pelton Weiss. Back up high for Malmquist. To the point once more for Dodero. Fakes the shot. Right side, Pearson. Looks for options. In front, couldn't find the stick of Pelton Weiss, who was looking for a tip. Top of the left circle, now right side, Pearson. He fires just over the cage. Malmquist back on it. Left circle, Pearson. Right circle. Pearson gets it back. To the point. Oh, just out of the zone as he couldn't make the pass to Charlie Dodero. Up the right side of the ice, it's sent back to the Steelheads' end. 17 seconds to go in period one. Steelheads with maybe one more rush up the ice. Touch pass McDonnell finding Nevers. Left side Mitch Wall. Drop pass right side. McDonnell in the middle, fired it wide. Here's Wall. Back toward the point. Dodero had slipped down. Final few seconds will tick off, and that'll wrap up the first period. Steelheads will carry a 2-1 lead into the second period. Shots on goal 20-7 for Idaho, and they nearly had more on the power play. We will step aside, and when we return, it's Mark Brose downstairs outside the Steelheads locker room.
Hey, grab me one too.
I've always wanted to do that.
I've always wanted to do that.
Well, I've wanted everything. I always wanted to do this.
I always wanted to do that!
Next round on me.
Ain't we just the bestest of friends? Some say we're attached at the hip. You pick me up, we run around, hanging out all over town. Ain't we just the bestest of friends? Yeah, we're just the bestest of friends.
Sean, we're all set.
Wow, thank you.
You bet.
Kendall, let's start something great.
It's hockey season in Boise. KTVB is your official home of the Idaho Steelheads. All season long, catch almost every home game on 24/7. Don't miss a moment. All the goals, the saves, the hits, and all the excitement of Steelheads hockey. Scan the QR code to see the full season schedule and watch the Steelheads on their quest for the Kelly Cup. KTVB is your official home of the Idaho Steelheads.
Welcome back inside the broadcast booth here at Idaho Central Arena. The Steelheads with a 2-1 advantage over the Greenville Swamp Rabbits after the first period of play. And the Steelheads, well, they're feeling pretty good after that shot advantage that we referenced just before the break. 20-7 over Greenville. Remember, the Steelheads only had 25 shots on goal in the game on Wednesday, so looking a lot better than they did early on in Wednesday's contest. As we'll now head downstairs outside the Steelheads locker room, we join Mark Brose.
Right outside the Idaho Steelheads locker room with Grant Siloff. And you're from Medina, and all the moms are in town. Are you going to star in Edina Moms Go Wild in Boise, Idaho?
I won't star in it, but I'll watch it for sure. It's pretty fun being with them. So, yeah, it's good having them here.
Yeah. How about that first period?
Yeah, I think it was a good first. We obviously have more. We played okay, had a good couple shifts and led to some stuff. But, yeah, I mean, we got way more in us right now.
You know, Super Bowl weekend coming up. Are you a big football fan, or you got anybody your favorite?
I like football. I wouldn't say I'm super big into it, but I'll take the Patriots for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I like them, yeah.
Okay. And how about this weather? I mean, it beats Minnesota right now.
Yeah, it for sure does. It's super nice outside. It's good having the sun, a little warmth out there. So, yeah, it's nice. Puts a smile on your face.
Well, all the moms are so nice from Medina, and they miss Chris Boltman's. So they wanted to have the Fab Four together.
Yeah, no, we miss you, Trish, also, if you're watching. Love you. But, yeah, having all the moms here, it's super fun. You know, Nev's mom, Mom's mom, my mom, and then, you know, Trish at home. It's super fun having them and just being able to see them. You know, during the year, it's fun. So.
Who drove you to practice? Your mom or your dad a lot more?
I don't know. We honestly kind of switched off with it, and also we had a carpool going with the Malmquist and Nevers, so sometimes their mom. Yeah.
Mom pool.
Yeah, mom pool. We'll take it.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
Enjoy the rest of the game. I owe you a lunch sometime.
Awesome. Thank you. Can't wait.
Back up to you, Justin.
Thank you so much to Brosy downstairs. Yeah, I had a chance myself to speak with some of the moms. It was great to chat with them earlier today. Grant Silanoff's mom, Lori, of course, she is currently battling stage 4 breast cancer, so I had a chance to speak with her about that journey. She's in good spirits. She's feeling better. The health outlook is a lot better for her as well, but we'll have that story for you tomorrow on the Steelheads social media pages and, of course, on our television broadcast coming your way. But lots of fun to talk with the moms over the course of the weekend here for Pink in the Rink for the Steelheads. Let's take a look now at the numbers through the first period for the Steelheads and the Swamp Rabbits. You see a 2-to-1 goal advantage for the Steelheads. Shots on goal, they ticked on a few more at the end of the period. Steelheads 20-7 as it stands right now in that shot advantage. Idaho in the midst of their second power play, so they're 1 for 2 right now. You'd imagine with only a few seconds remaining to start the second period, it'll probably rest up at 1 for 2. But right now, Steelheads in control over the Swamp Rabbits with a 2-to-1 lead. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first period between the Steelheads and Swamp Rabbits. And it was Idaho getting on the board first. Here's Jeff Baum down low. Ty Pelton-Weiss picking up the loose change. And Beiser finds the back of the net for his 9th of the season to give the Steelheads a 1-0 lead. Power play goal just 6 seconds into the man advantage there for the Steelheads. Working the other way though. Murphy parks up at the left point, dishes off into the left circle for Berg, who picks his spot on Ben Cross. That one tied the game moments later as Murphy connects with Berg. And the Steelheads back in a tie with this Swamp Rabbits team. Something that, of course, we saw for a large portion of the game on Wednesday in a lengthy 2-2 tie. But Steelheads got back to work. Me and Brosy were talking about this one. Everybody touching the puck felt like a little Harlem Globetrotter action for a little bit there, as Mason Nevers eventually is the one that pots it home by, you'll see, number 30, Matthias Scholl. Isaiah Seville took a hit from Brendan Hoffman earlier in that first period, so Scholl comes in for Isaiah Seville. Mason Nevers picks up the goal, and the Steelheads take a 2-1 lead. Of course, it's a massive weekend for the Steelheads in terms of their efforts with Pink in the Rink. St. Luke's Breast Care Services, the recipient of all of the auction funds for the QR code that you'll see on your screen there. Steelheads auctioning off these game-worn jerseys until Sunday at noon. Auction has already begun now, so if you head over to that QR code, get that link, you can bid on those game-worn jerseys, and you can check them out over the rest of the weekend. But again, all proceeds go into the St. Luke's Breast Care Services and for a good cause this weekend for the Idaho Steelheads. Some good-looking jerseys on the ice, benefiting a good cause as well. We will step aside, and when we return to downtown Boise, more to discuss as the Steelheads and Swamp Rabbits battle on a Friday night from Idaho Central Arena.
You asked, we listened.
They did it. It's back.
And now it's back. Papa Murphy's Triple Pep Pizza has returned. For a limited time, get 3 types of pepperoni, triple the flavor, triple the sizzle that takes every slice over the top. With giant pepperoni for big, bold bites, classic pepperoni you know and love, and mini cut pepperonis with that crispy crunch. Papa Murphy's Triple Pep Pizza, made fresh in our kitchen, baked hot in yours. Just $10.99 at PapaMurphys.com.
This is not a blue moon. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. A blue moon isn't a blue moon without a fresh orange.
Fred Meyer always gives you more ways to save on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Fred Meyer app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. And earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. With a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Discover more ways to save big every day. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
80 years. That's a lot of stories. Stories of first steps and first checkups. Of an Idaho invention that opened up new terrain. Of fishtails and dad jokes. Of frozen potatoes. As Idaho's first health insurer, Blue Cross of Idaho was there for you then. We're here for you now, and we'll be there for every story to come.
Nestled in downtown Boise, Anthony's is more than just a restaurant, it's an experience. Their commitment to quality is unmatched. Their own seafood company works directly with fishermen and farmers to ensure the finest food arrives at the table bursting with flavor. And don't forget about oysters from the pristine waters of Puget Sound that pair perfectly with a crisp wine or martini. Don't wait. Dive into Boise's best seafood. Reserve your table at anthonys.com and park for free in the Simplot Garage.
Welcome back inside Idaho Central Arena as we continue along on our Idaho Central Credit Union First Intermission Report. And a big thank you as well to Idaho Central Credit Union, helping members achieve financial success. Big sponsor of our Idaho Steelheads. Steelheads with a 2-1 lead over the Greenville Swamp Rabbits after one period of play. They've got 6 seconds of power play time to work with by the beginning of the second period. Not a ton, but they're going to appreciate the 5-on-4 for the brief time that they do have it in the middle frame. Meanwhile, let's take a look at some of the out-of-town scores starting off in the third period. Look at that score. 17 minutes to go in the third. Tulsa 2, Kansas City 1. Of course, the Mavericks, after that lengthy 14-game win streak, then won 3 out of their next 4. Down by a goal to the Tulsa Oilers right now. That is the top place Mavericks in the Mountain and the last place Oilers. It took overtime yesterday for Kansas City to defeat Tulsa, but we'll see if the Oilers can hold on for a road victory at Cable Dahmer Arena. Moving forward in our out-of-town scoreboard check, Rapid City and Wichita. They've been going back and forth for that 5th spot in the Mountain Division. Right now a 2-2 tie with 14:08 to go in period number 3 from Wichita. Elsewhere across the mountain, we look more to the Norfolk Admirals and the Allen Americans. From Credit Union of Texas Event Center down there in Allen, just about to begin the third period, the Americans with a 3-1 lead over the Admirals. Allen right now pretty much entrenched in 4th place in the division. And finally, coming up a little bit later tonight, in fact, just now getting underway it looks like in a few minutes' time, Utah and Tahoe. Just about to begin the first period from Tahoe Blue Event Center. The Night Monsters right now in 3rd in the Mountain Division. The Grizzlies trying to fight their way back toward the front reaches of the Mountain Division. Right now they're in 7th on just 36 points. Steelheads feeling pretty good after the first period, as we've touched on, in big part because of what they were able to do with their chances in that opening frame. You heard Grant Silanoff talk to Mark Brose downstairs. Didn't feel like they had their best, still felt like they had a little more to give, but not a ton more to give, you'd imagine. The Steelheads with 20 shots on goal to Greenville's 7. Of course, that number can be deceptive at times in terms of the quality of the chances, quality of the shots, but it did feel like the Steelheads had some really good looks in that first period. And, of course, they cashed in on 2 of them. They got a power play goal from Ty Pelton-Bice for his 9th of the season. Mason Nevers with his 4th of the season on a play in which every Steelhead touched the puck. It went from the corner up high to Boltman, to Punnett, to Kanade, to Miller, to Nevers, and the Steelheads found the back of the net at 17:35 of period number 1 to give them that goal. So the Steelheads right now in control 2-1 over the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, looking for more in period number 2. Before we step aside, some more thank yous to hand out on our broadcast as the Steelheads have a 2-1 lead heading into period number 2. First up to the Blue Cross of Idaho, born of the people and places we know best. Also to St. Luke's Sports Medicine, the official doctors of the Idaho Steelheads. As well to Project Filter. Project Filter, you decide when, we will show you how. And finally, to Mountain Time Premium Lager, cold, crisp, and crushable. That'll wrap things up for our intermission report. We are back on the other side of the break with second period action from downtown Boise.
When you need an electrician, you go with the pros. When you need a haircut, you go with the pros. When it comes to heating, cooling, and plumbing, go with the pros at YMC Mechanical. Let YMC protect you and your family with an air scrubber, effectively used in the International Space Station, Ground Zero Museum, hotel chains, and hospitals. Get it attached directly to your home heating and cooling system. Call today for a $100 discount. Go with the pros at YMC Mechanical and keep your home air cleaner 24/7.
Every drop in Crater Lake comes from above. Inspiration in its purest form. At Crater Lake Spirits, we call it the spirit of adventure, where every piece of the journey is there for a reason, like in each bottle of our flagship vodka. Distilled from corn, filtered through crushed lava rock and charcoal, it combines the pure taste of Cascade Mountain water with a hint of vanilla on the finish. Find your adventure and embrace it. Vodka, as it's meant to be, from Crater Lake Spirits, the spirit of adventure.
It's hockey season in Boise. KTVB is your official home of the Idaho Steelheads. All season long, catch almost every home game on 24/7. Don't miss a moment. All the goals, the saves, the hits, and all the excitement of Steelheads hockey. Scan the QR code to see the full season schedule and watch the Steelheads on their quest for the Kelly Cup. KTVB is your official home of the Idaho Steelheads.
Every day, we lose 22 of our nation's veterans to suicide. The battle for their mental health doesn't end when they return home. These are the heroes that fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs, to help them breathe, to heal, and to find peace again. We believe that nature gives the freedom to heal. At Fireside Pine, our clothing is American-made, veteran-owned, and every purchase helps nonprofit organizations dedicated to veteran mental health. Together, we can give veterans the freedom to heal. Now open at the Village in Meridian.
Need support quitting your vape? Visit projectfilter.org for help.
Getting ready for the second period from downtown Boise. Steelheads with a 2-1 lead over the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. They'll have a very short amount of power play time to start this middle frame, just 6 seconds to go. But the Steelheads feeling good with a 2-1 lead heading into period number 2. Justin Russo and Mark Brose back with you ahead of the middle frame between the Steelheads and the Swamp Rabbits. Idaho in a much better position after the first period than they were last time. It was a 10-7 shot advantage for Greenville on Wednesday after 20. It has been flipped on its head. Steelheads with 20 shots on goal. The Swamp Rabbits with just 7. As we head downstairs to Mark Brose, Rosie, good chat with Silanoff in the intermission, and now we're back ready to go for period 2.
Yeah, they're strapped in. I mean, this is a tough team, and talking to all the fans, people are impressed by the Swamp Rabbit style of play. They're fast, pretty heavy. It hasn't been too dirty, but this is a tough matchup.
A solid Swamp Rabbit squad, as again they're down in the bottom reaches of the South Division, 6th place, but they've got 5 games in hand on the team in front of them.
That's what I was talking to some of the people in the stands. I said,
yeah,
they haven't played a lot of the games.
No, they've got the same amount of points as Orlando, 5 games in hand. Meanwhile, second period underway. Steelheads on it in the offensive zone, moving left to right in this opening frame in their black and pink, specialty pink in the rink jerseys. On the other end, the Swamp Rabbits move right to left, white jerseys, orange trim with blue pants. Here comes Greenville into the offensive zone. Isogai right side, Mastrodonato saved by Cross to kick off period 2. In the far corner, Steelheads dig this puck free. Silanoff toward the boards, turned it back over. Greenville with a sharp angle shot, never made it through. It's worked further down low where McDonnell skates into this puck near corner. Back toward the middle of the ice. Here's Silanoff skating over the red line, dumping this one in and going for a change. First 55 seconds gone of the second period. Still a 2-1 game. Steelheads in control over the Swamp Rabbits. Out of his own zone, Lovell off the far side boards, turns it over to Punnett. Tried a quick touch pass up to Kanade, but gets it back now. Into the offensive end, Nevers. Drop pass back to Miller, right circle, shoots on, blocked in front. Nevers couldn't locate the bouncing puck, just feet away from the crease. Here's Nevers, back up to the point, under the stick of Punnett. It'll go all the way down, and Ben Cross will settle it in the trapezoid. Cross lays it up the near side ice, turns it over to Polino. Boltman was there, but wasn't quite in position for that pass as a 2-on-2 rush with Kanade and Miller as the Steelheads into the offensive zone. They are stopped at the line, and Greenville works it back into their own end. Berg back to the far side for Murray. Murray, head up, makes a stretch pass up to Polino, cuts toward the middle, to the right side now. Taking a shot is Shandor, and a save made by Ben Cross. Into the glove of Ben Cross it goes. 18-14 to go in period 2, and a solid effort there by Greenville with maybe a 3-on-2 look.
Yes, Shandor skated himself out of the shooting area.
That's, I guess, part of the reach of Connor Punnett as well. He probably felt big number 14 kind of trailing toward him, and he thought, oh, I got to get the angle here. I got to get it by number 14, and like you said, in doing so, he was at such a sharp angle, he couldn't get it by Cross. There was no room. Still an offensive zone draw here for Greenville. It is one back. Murphy handles top right circle. He scores. Wade Murphy with a turnaround shot at the top of the right circle. A seeing eye shot. Finds a way by Ben Cross. And the former Steelhead ties things up at 2 with 18-10 to go in the second period. Right off the face-off, Rosie. That one just somehow found its way in.
Steelhead's bench doesn't like the drop of when
yeah, the initial drop of the puck.
Yeah, I don't know who took that defensive and offensive face-off, but they didn't like it. The Steelheads bench said there was something wrong with it.
Greenville back on it here in the offensive end. They play it out to the neutral zone inadvertently as Berg skates back in his own zone. Will offer a stretch pass up to Murphy, who just scored the goal moments ago. Here's Cross setting it up in the trapezoid. He'll pass it back to the far side, but cutting in to turn that one over was Greenville. Now look out, Cross has this net come all the way off as he was trying to skate back toward his crease. It almost fell right on the iron. He was able to launch it back, but it came off its moorings, and we get a whistle with 17:37 to go in period 2. Yeah, not often, Brosy, you see sequence there for the Steelheads. As here's a look at why we have a stoppage. Cross just took a little shortcut, said, well, not so fast. And the net just slightly dislodged as the Steelheads are trying to work out of their zone. Defensive zone face-off, one back by Pelton Bice. Now back into the hands of the Swamp Rabbits near side. Here's Brackett at the half wall, back up toward the point, turned over. Here's Pearson, has a head of steam into the offensive zone, around one man. Pearson in front, saved by Scholl. Second chance knocked wide. Caleb Pearson with a beautiful move. Couldn't get it by Matthias Scholl. Down low, icing waved off. Greenville turns it over down in the zone. And Hershuk will skate into this puck. Look out, heavy hit as Hausinger goes down. He and Hershuk battle in the near side corner. Malmquist over the red line, meanwhile, taken down. No arm up in the air. Steelheads can't believe it. Everett Sheen's got both hands, palms to the sky on his own bench. Meanwhile, Greenville enters the offensive end. Down at the left side, now down low, Modry. Far side corner, Modry and Jardine collide toward the boards. Kept in by Isogai. Once more down low for Mastrodonato. Left side, skates out toward the circle. Mastrodonato gives a head fake. Center point now, skates toward the slot. Fires, save made by Cross with the right pad. Rimmed around to the far end. Malmquist will get a stick on it and get it out to neutral ice. 16.5 to go in the second period. Still a 2-2 tie. Turned over here by Greenville. Jeff Baum stepped into this one. In the offensive end, Baum to the right for Wall. Back toward the middle. Steelheads never got a shot off as it dribbles down below the goal line.
Waller, take the shot.
One of those plays for Mitch Wall, trying to find that rhythm back after so much missed time. Meanwhile, Charlie Dodaro up high, fires this one high and wide. Wall battles down low. Dodaro scores! Chris Dodaro strikes and gives the Steelheads a 3-2 lead with 16:06 to go in the second period. The shot wide by Charlie, the put home by Chris, and the Steelheads are back in front at Idaho Central Arena. How about that one, Brosy? Steelheads battle at the side of the cage, and Chris Dodaro puts home his third goal of the season. Second goal in the last week for Chris, as it's a 3-2 Steelheads lead.
He's a grinder.
It's how some of these goals have to come if you're Idaho, just battling for puck possession. Saw it on Wednesday as well. Battled for a puck down low. Jaden Shields ended up scoring from the top of the left circle. And that time it's the second line getting it done in front of the cage, beating Matthias Scholl and giving the Steelheads the lead once more. So how about that for a momentum shift for the Steelheads, giving up the goal to Greenville and striking right back just over 2 minutes later. Same line out. Here's Hoffman up the far side of the ice. He and Wall are in the same area. Have to dump it in now. Here's Hoffman chasing this one down on the forecheck. It comes free back toward the point for the Steelheads. Not quite kept in by Boltman, but he'll wheel it back in as the Steelheads get onside. Third line on now for Idaho. Silanoff chasing the puck. Shandor over the red line works it in for Greenville. Right side, parked up by Atkinson. Toward the middle for Sheriff. He scores. And we're right back even again. Dante Sheriff finds the back of the net after a nifty feed by Josh Atkinson. Sheriff on the board with his 8th goal of the season. And it's another tie game from downtown Boise. These teams can't quit each other, Brosy.
Oh, this guy is money.
Picks up the puck right in front. You called it, Brosy. Not a man you want to give many opportunities to, number 26, and that time he burns the Steelheads there.
On and off the stick pretty quick.
Wade Murphy struck at 150. It was Chris Dodaro at 354. And it was Dante Sheriff at just over 4.5 minutes in. Another look here, maybe 2-on-1. O'Reilly left circle, saved by Cross. Puck is loose in front. Steelheads try to get on it. They do now with Boltman. Long stretch pass up the ice is going to go just wide of the reach of McDonnell. He'll skate down towards this one. McDonnell taken down, arm up in the air. Silanoff's got a problem with that, and the Steelheads all get involved. A massive scrum at the far side corner after Angus McDonnell taken down. At his own power, he's back up to his skates, being looked over by Kaylee Warren. Meanwhile, a melee on the far side of the ice as Angus McDonnell trying to get tended to for an injury. Jardine tied up with one of the Swamp Rabbits there. And you can't mistake number 95 in big 6'7" John Parker Jones. McDonnell, you see, with the left arm clutching the right shoulder. He skates right down the tunnel. And we take another look here. Arm is up in the air, of course. McDonnell down low. Berg with the shove right into the boards. That's a collision right there is fine. But then the shove into the boards, that's a little extra, Brosy. I mean, that's Wouldn't be surprised if you see a little bit tacked on more than 2 minutes for that, but we'll see what they come up with on the far side of the ice. Tyler Haskell, tonight's referee.
You're right. They may be tacking on more.
And it appears that Berg is going to head down right to his dressing room. No indication of a length of time on the penalty quite yet. Berg is pleading his case to Dominic Valentine, but he's going to skate right down the tunnel. He won't even be in the penalty box to serve this. And again, they had an initial dust up or touching along the goal line. That's fine, but Berg then extends and cross-checks McDonnell right into the boards. Indeed, it is a 5-minute major on the board. Here's another look at it. They touch right here, that's fine. Then the shove to McDonnell, the extra right there. There's nothing inadvertent about that. And understandably, everyone in black and pink skated over to that corner to give Parker Berg a piece of their thoughts. Well, this is setting up to be a massive moment in this game. These two teams have gone back and forth early in the second period. 3 combined goals in under 3 minutes time. But the Steelheads look to strike on the power play. A major power play on an ICCU power play as they get things going. 14:56 to go in the second. 5 minutes on the board. Remember, on a major, there is no stopping. The Steelheads can score as many goals as they want. We're going to keep on going. Let's see if they can start with just one. Top of the right circle, Pearson, left side. Malmquist fires over the net. Pearson keeps the line down low toward the half wall, offers it back up toward the point, but turned it over. Maybe a shorthanded look here under the stick of Polino. Malmquist will pick it up at his own goal line. Dishes it down low for Jeff Baum. Just 20 seconds gone on the 5-minute major to Parker Berg. Berg goes off for a boarding major and a game misconduct. His night's over. Hoffman, right side, dishing down low for Pearson. Pearson takes a check, finds Hoffman once more as it slid back toward the point. Right half wall, Pearson looks for options. Dishes back toward the point once more, kept in by Baum. Right point, now center point Baum. To the left side for Malmquist, went just under his stick. O'Reilly picks it up, can't clear it out yet, as now, Greenville thought they could clear it. Steelheads step into it once more. Left side, Pelton Bice, back to the right for Baum. Back up high, Pelton Bice. To the left side, Pearson, one-timer, saved by Scholl, and cleared all the way out by the Swamp Rabbits. 1 minute gone on the Steelheads power play. Second unit comes on the ice. Ben Cross has the puck in his own trapezoid, now finds his defenseman Dodero, who gets things set up for the second unit. Up the far side. That's a good sign there. It's Angus McDonnell on the ice for the Steelheads. Good to see him back already. To the left side boards. Kept in there by Steinmetz as he curls up at the left circle. Steinmetz playing it back up for Charlie Dodero. Right side to Mitch Wall. Wall winds up, fires. Save made by Scholl as jumping in front was Nevers, who takes an extra shot in front. Steelheads looking for another arm up in the air. They won't get it. 3:31 to go on the power play. And another look at the latest chance by the Steelheads. There's a nice shot by Mitch Walbrosey that time.
Frazier got a shot in. Wow.
And you understand some of the dynamic at play where you don't want to give everything to one team. But when the penalties happen, the penalties happen. You have to just call it as you see it.
Yeah, punch in the head.
If you take a penalty, you're taking a penalty. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Either way, Steelheads trying to get back to work as Greenville will clear this one all the way down to resume play with 13:15 to go in period 2. 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go on a major power play. Let's see if the Steelheads can get one on the board. We're still in a 3-3 tie. McDonnell curls up at the red line. Left side looks for Steinmetz, overplays it, and it's cleared back to the neutral zone by Greenville. Nice play by Charlie Dodero to, from his knees, get this one back into the Greenville end, though the Swamp Rabbits can kill tons of time here as the Steelheads are going to go for a change, and Greenville can take their time entering the offensive zone shorthanded. Dish down low, wide to the right, pad across. Another shorthanded look for the Swamp Rabbits. Top unit of the power play back onto the ice here. Hoffman chases this puck down toward the middle, gets by one man, tries to poke it free. Scholl comes up with the stop. Murray works his way around one man, tries to get it cleared. It just stays in the zone. Just along the blue line it stayed in. As it's still in for Greenville, now they clear it all the way down. Chopped up at the offensive blue line by Polino. Jeff Baum resets in his own zone. 2:20 to go on the power play. 12:15 to go in the second. 3-3 tie. Pearson to the left side for Malmquist into the zone. Drop pass for Pelton Weiss. Gets it back from Baum. Left circle to the high slot. Hoffman fires, blockered up into the netting by Scholl for a whistle with 12:03 to go. Steelheads firing away on this power play, Brosey. They've had some solid looks, but they've come up empty so far.
Yeah, good look, a good puck movement there. How often is that shot not going in from the slot from Hoffman?
Seems like everything number 9 has touched in the last couple of months has turned to gold. But that time, Scholl comes out with the blocker to make the save. 2:08 to go on the Steelheads' major power play. This top unit remains on. Hoffman will take the faceoff. It's one back. Pearson touches it toward the point for Baum. Back down low. Hoffman along the goal line fires through the crease back to the near side. Malmquist up high for Baum. Left side. Pearson one-timer saved by Scholl. Back out in front. Puck is loose. Off of the boards and kept in by Baum. What a play by the Steelheads defenseman. Saucer pass back to the point for Baum. Straddling center point. He fires one on. Tipped in front of the crease. Scholl comes up with the save. And it's cleared down by the Swamp Rabbits. All the way down it goes. Some of the bodies you're looking for in front, Brosey, where you're trying to get a tip. Steelheads had it there. They just couldn't find a way by number 30.
Yeah, it's smart play, but Baum just to get it in. Just a shot on net. Not a boomer, but just get the goaltender's attention.
Steelheads fail the ensuing entry as it's cleared down once more. 1:15 to go on the major power play to Bird. Nevers to the right for Wall. Trouble at the line again. It's cleared all the way down by Greenville and touched up by Cross. 11 minutes to go in the second period. Just 1 minute to go on a major power play as all the way down we get a whistle. And it looks like either an offside or an icing. We'll see which one they call. McDonnell tried to stretch out for that puck, and it looks like they'll rule an icing all the way down the ice. 61 seconds to go on a major power play for the Steelheads. Parker Berg, boarding major on Angus McDonnell, and a game misconduct is done for the night. So down to 5 defense are the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Steinmetz will curl back in his own zone after the Steelheads win the draw. Mitch Wall toward the far side of the ice finds McDonnell, gains the red, launches it in, blockered away in the crease by Scholl. At the far corner, couple of players tied up as now it comes free to Greenville. Maybe a 2-on-1 rush. Here's Mitch Wall on the back check trying to get back. Right side, a shot saved by Cross as he comes up with a huge shorthanded stop. Letting that one go was O'Hara, who scored on Wednesday for Greenville. And the Swamp Rabbits nearly took a lead on a shorthanded tally.
Yeah, but that was all because of the work by Mitch Wall because he had to back check.
Yeah. Got back the best way he could and at least forced the shot. Top unit back on for the Steelheads. 37 seconds to go on the power play. Shots on goal 28-13 in favor of Idaho. They possess after a defensive zone faceoff win. Maybe one more rush up the ice to try to get things set up in the offensive zone. Malmquist over the red, into the offensive zone. Toward the middle, Hoffman touches it right for Pearson. Looking down low, blocked in front, and it's cleared all the way down once more by Hausinger. Atkinson involved as well, as toward the middle of the ice is Punnett. Steelheads going back to an even strength look here. Pearson into the offensive zone, drops the shoulder, curls up, loses an edge at the far side corner, and loses the puck as well. Battled for by Pearson and Pelton Weiss, comes free to the left circle, and out come the Swamp Rabbits. 3-on-2 rush, a man in Sheriff is out of the box. Right side Atkinson curls up, he's at the right point now, dishing it down low to a vacant spot. It's picked up by Boltman, back to even strength with 9:45 to go in period number 2. Into the offensive zone, drop pass for Pearson, blocked in front, toward the crease, picked up by Sheriff, worked the other way. Steelheads in the midst of a change. Here's Sheriff at the right wing circle. Fires this one wide of the glove of Ben Cross. Kept in by Brackett. Sheriff fakes, leaves it down low on the rim around. Kanade will pick it up in his own zone, curl back on the backhand, and get this one out to the neutral zone. Toward the middle is Jade Miller. He joins Chris Dodero. Left up at the left point. It is now sent out. Poisson offers a hard check there on Kanade as Brackett works it back in. Brackett around one man toward the front. Saved by Cross. Puck is loose, now picked up by Punnett. At the far side, out to Kanade, over the red line, 3-on-3. Kanade tries to feed this one to the slot, but just misses Miller. Back toward the neutral zone, Steelheads will collect it and send it in. Jade Miller comes off the ice, delayed offside here for the Steelheads. Now they're in the clear as Greenville launches this one back in. No icing. Cross plays it down low. Finds Steinmetz at the far half wall. Up the ice. Here's a chance for Silanoff. Uses his speed down low toward the front. Silanoff taken right into the cage as the net is off and a whistle sounds. Some more shoving after the whistle down low. Fraser and Silanoff getting into it. 8:39 to go in period number 2 as I thought we'd step aside. Not quite yet. The net is off. The door open. We'll stay here for the moment as you see Modry and Silanoff battling there. 28-16 the shot advantage for Idaho. 3-3 tie. Brosey, how big of a penalty kill is that for Greenville?
You know, we had some good looks, but, you know, nothing. We had some good shots, too. So hats off to those guys.
Steelheads were hoping they could find at least a goal on that 5-minute major power play. Wasn't meant to be. Still even. 3-3. Right circle face-off in the offensive zone for Idaho. Steinmetz takes it. And he'll be now sent out of the dot. McDonnell takes his spot. Talked about it earlier, but just good to see Angus McDonnell immediately back out onto the ice as he took that hard check into the boards. Steinmetz back out high for Hershuk. Shooting just wide of the left post. Silanoff had trouble with it left circle. It's sent back out to the neutral zone. Hershuk's on it. In his own zone, he finds his man up to the far side of the ice in Jardine. Steelheads work it back in. And down low below the goal line is Modry. Launching it back toward the neutral zone. Murphy at the red line had trouble with that puck. Silanoff all over him. Now he'll play it back to his defense. Up the far side of the ice, now toward the middle. Pass to Murphy, collects it behind his own back. Picks up some steam into the offensive zone. Murphy working on Hershuk there, centered in front, all the way to the near side. Picked up now by Steinmetz. Into the neutral zone, Pearson on it. Backhands this one off the far side boards and down low. He'll chase down Murray. Pocket pick there by Murray by Pearson. Pelton Bice battles down low alongside Caleb. Caleb with it free, bottom of the right circle, works down into the trapezoid. Pearson on his backhand off the back of the cage. It's still loose in the trapezoid. Now to the near side. Dodero steps up to keep the line, but Greenville's right on it as now they exit the zone. O'Reilly dumps this one down low, goes for a change. Jeff Baum skates into it in his own trapezoid. 7.5 to go in the second period, still a 3-3 tie. Up the far side of the ice, Steelheads launch it back in. Scholl will cut it off in the trapezoid and play it back to the far side for Atkinson. Kept in by Idaho. Point shot blocked right in front. Here's O'Hara touching it up into the offensive zone. Isogai shoots all the way up into the protective netting off the stick of Charlie Dodero. 7:11 to go in the second period. 3-3 tie between the Steelheads and the Swamp Rabbits as we step aside from downtown Boise.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
80 years. That's a lot of stories. Stories of first steps and first checkups. Of an Idaho invention that opened up new terrain. Of fishtails and dad jokes. Of frozen potatoes. As Idaho's first health insurer, Blue Cross of Idaho was there for you then. We're here for you now, and we'll be there for every story to come.
Jack, when you look back on 75 years...
Oh, I'm not looking back. I'm bringing back my Chicken Supreme. It comes in a combo and munchie meal. This juicy fan favorite starts at just $5.49. Are you writing this down? Get the Chicken Supreme munchie meal with collectible jibby.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Welcome back inside Idaho Central Arena, where Steelheads hockey is brought to you by Texas Roadhouse. Legendary food, legendary service, and legendary fun. All smiles on the Steelheads bench right now as they are in a 3-3 tie with the Greenville Swamp Rabbits looking to take the lead once more with 7:11 to go in period 2. Another reminder for those of you watching on FloHockey or on KTVB, that QR code is back on your screen for Pink in the Rink. Scan the QR code, it'll take you to the jersey auction link. You can bid on the Steelheads game-worn Pink in the Rink jerseys until Sunday at noon. Steelheads will be wearing these jerseys tomorrow as well, as once more the net comes off. Some battling down low. Dodero tied up with O'Hara, and both players still giving some jabs down low. Lots of times we've seen that net come off. 7:02 to go in period 2. Well, Brosey, we talked about the physicality from the early going. We felt it would be a feature of this game, and it just seems to be ramping up every time these guys take back to the ice.
Yeah, we still got 7 minutes in this period.
Plenty of time to work.
Yeah, going back to those jerseys, actually, the S it looks really cool on the Steelheads jersey.
Love the design. Once again, designed by our very own Carl Winks. Does a great job designing our specialty jerseys here for the Steelheads. Got that steel pattern on the shoulders as well. Good looks for the Idaho Steelheads this weekend. As it's sent down, there was a collision just to the left of you, Brosey, as now it's launched down for an icing whistle against the Steelheads. Back in front of Ben Cross, it'll come. Discussion now with Josh Burkhart and Tyler Haskell. Under 7 to go in the second period, 3-3 tie.
I don't know if it hit anybody. I just saw it whiz by us.
Yeah. Conversation now to be had with Haskell and Chad Costello. I'd imagine there's not much to argue if you're Greenville. You're getting an offensive zone faceoff. O'Hara at the left circle will take it. Hoffman for the Steelheads. Hoffman ties him up, wins it back. Steelheads get it out of the zone. Mitch Wall in a one-on-one into the offensive zone. Fires this one that's blocked right into the netting for a whistle with 6:44 to go. Well,
there we go.
It's make-up time for some of these media timeouts as we come back to another break. Some extracurriculars on the far side of the ice, but we step aside once more from downtown Boise. Steelheads and Swamp Rabbits tied 3-3.
When you choose a Blue Moon, everything becomes brighter. Crafted with Valencia orange peel and coriander, Blue Moon is made brighter.
Fred Meyer always gives you more ways to save on top of our lower than low prices. And when you download the Fred Meyer app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons and earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. With a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Discover more ways to save big every day. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
Steelheads hockey is brought to you by Camp Bow Wow, where the Steelheads' best friends stay. 6:44 to go in the second. Chris Dodero sits in the penalty box, and the Greenville Swamp Rabbits will head to their first power play of the contest. Steelheads to the jack-in-the-box penalty kill. And Idaho, for the first time, will have to have some PK work coming up. Discussion being had once more on the Swamp Rabbits bench as we take a look at the numbers for the Steelheads PK. 19th in the league at 80.7%. Greenville power play, they ticked up a little bit. They were 1 for 5 yesterday, bumped them up to 12.7%, but they still rank last in the ECHL. And of course, Brosey, they had that overtime power play that they couldn't cash in on. We'll see if the Steelheads penalty kill can get back to work again.
Boy, a lot of discussions on every face-off, Justin.
Everyone's getting a word in today, Brosey.
Oh, my gosh. It's a playoff game in February.
Chris Dodero, 2 minutes in the box for tripping. Steelheads to the jack-in-the-box penalty kill. Mastrodonato back to the point as Greenville controls to start this power play. Down low, back up high to Mastrodonato to the right side. Atkinson to the left for Isogai. Top left circle, tip down low. Steelheads back on it, collecting that loose puck in front of Cross. Miller will launch it all the way down and get the clear. Down low, below the goal line, Atkinson skates free. Into the neutral zone, gains the red, dishing left side for Isogai. Slides it right towards center point. Murphy dances around one man. Polino fires, saved by Cross with the left pad. Steelheads back on it, looking to get it clear, and they do just that all the way down the ice. Scholl will collect it in the trapezoid and lay it for his defense. 45 seconds gone on the power play for Greenville. 5:55 to go in period 2. Mastrodonato to the left for Isogai. Tries to feed it back down low for number 8. Jardine steps into it. Hershuk will leave this further along the wall. Hard collisions all the way, but good work by the Steelheads as Pelton Bice gets it toward the middle, and the Steelheads get another clear. Scholl, a long stretch pass up toward the penalty boxes for Sheriff. Now left side for O'Hara with speed. Drop pass to the slot. Saved by Cross on a hard shot by Shandor. Ben Cross stepping up to save that blast from the slot. Shandor was looking for his 4th of the season, and Ben Cross comes up big late in the second period. Sliding from right to left, Brosey, big number 30 with a key stop there.
Just put it in the highlight reel. Just one more good save.
Left circle draw for the Swamp Rabbits in the offensive zone. 5:28 remaining in period number 2. Shandor at the left circle will take it opposite Jade Miller defensively for the Steelheads. And after the drop, a stoppage as we'll drop it once more. Going to add that second back onto the time. 5:28 to go, 45 left on the power play. Miller and Shandor once again. To the right of Cross. One back by Miller. Sheriff and Jardine, the first two at back there as they battle for the puck in the corner. Shandor picks it free with his backhand up toward the point for Murray. Right side Lovell at the right point. Dishes down low for Sheriff. Offers a drop pass that's turned over to Jardine, but not out. Lovell back toward the left side on the stick of Shandor. Back up high for Murray once more. Steps in from the blue line. Fires this one over the glove of Cross as Lovell keeps it in. Down low, O'Hara plays it for Shandor. They can't quite get things set up as the Steelheads get another clear all the way down. Just 15 seconds remain in period, on the penalty kill for the Steelheads. 4:51 to go in period 2. Sheriff left side for O'Hara. One more rush into the zone. Shandor had trouble with it, but it was kept in momentarily by Lovell. Here's Hoffman. 1 versus 2 rush. He's joined by Dodaro out of the box and Mitch Wall. Hoffman with a drop pass to Dodaro. It was turned over, but Hoffman with a nice back check gets it free for the Steelheads. Dodaro tried to get it in front to Wall, but now Wall has it down low below the goal line. Out in front, Jeff Baum fires just wide of the right post. Wall from a sharp angle shoots, blocked into the netting by the stick of Shandor as it ramps up and out of play. 4:23 to go in period number 2 for our radio audience on KTIK. We step aside one final time in the middle frame. Back with more Steelheads action on the other side on KTIK. Meanwhile, though, the Steelheads with a frantic sequence there. Some looks from Brendan Hoffman, Mitch Wall, Chris Dodaro, of course, who's already scored a goal in this game. And they can't quite find the go-ahead marker. Does indeed feel like a playoff series, Brosey, with the way this has gone down. Two good teams on the ice, you can tell.
Yeah, you know what? Chris Dodaro's got a lot of pop tonight. I mean, he's not done maybe on the score sheet. I mean, he's grinded.
Feels like for Chris Dodaro, that was his 3rd goal of the season earlier, that the goal scoring might be coming back to him in the second half of the year. He's had the looks in the first half. He's been in the right spots, at the front of the net, involved in the play. The goal scoring just necessarily hasn't ticked up to the level he probably would have hoped for. Not to say he hasn't contributed or produced. He's nearing 20 points on the season.
Exactly.
He's at 19 points, 16 helpers, yeah.
Yeah, he's got 16 helpers.
So he's been a solid piece for this Steelheads team, and he, again, fits that mold of those grindy forwards, those small forwards like to dig things free in the corners, that do that dirty work, like Steinmetz and Silanov and McDonnell, that whole line. Dodaro certainly among that bunch for this Steelhead squad. 4:23 to go in period number 2. 3-3 tie between the Steelheads and the Swamp Rabbits. Offensive zone draw here for Idaho. Hoffman loses this one. Fraser has it back for Greenville. Can't clear the zone, though. Fraser, the tops of the circles in his own end, has this one bounced to the near side now for Atkinson. Over the red line, Atkinson will dump it down low, rink wide. Chased down by Jeff Baum in the trapezoid. To the left side. Steelheads trying to cut this play off. It finds Atkinson once more at the blue line. He shoots one on it. Caught his own man up high as Hausinger was tied up in front of the net with Dodaro, and Cross will just slide over and collect that puck for a whistle. Luckily for Hausinger, didn't exactly catch him in a bad spot, but not a spot you want to block it in nonetheless. As you see there, he was just trying to do anything to find some positioning with Dodaro. calmly stopped by Ben Cross. And another offensive zone draw for Greenville. Steelheads win the ensuing face-off to the near side. McDonnell flips this one out. Not quite to the neutral zone as Greenville had kept it in. Hausinger down low. It's in Steelheads' possession to the far side for Punnett. A rink-wide pass up to Steinmetz. He and McDonnell were along the blue line. It's touched into the offensive zone. All down low. Stillinoff rims this one around. McDonnell tries to chase it, but Boltman's going to get there first from the blue line. He keeps it down low toward the corner. A couple of Steelheads swarming Fraser. Stillinoff now on it near the trapezoid. Centering out in front. McDonnell put it just wide of the left post. Down low once more. This line continues to work. Greenville got to be ready with their heads up for any of these turnovers. Another good chance. McDonnell to the side for Stillinoff down low. He tried to center this one. It's turned over to Poisson. But this line just generating so much on the forecheck. Just when you think it's an easy clear for Greenville, they're right back on it. 3 minutes to go in the second. 3-3 tie. Stretch pass turned over to Punnett, who gave it right back. Brackett in with O'Reilly. Brackett right side, deflected wide by the Steelheads defense. Nevers, stretch pass up the far side of the ice, just missing Punnett, who gets it back now and wheels it back in. Nevers had his helmet taken off. He has to skate right over to the bench. Play comes back to the near side. Parker Jones will lift it out. Hershuk touches it over to the far side, now to Pearson, and back into his own zone is Aiden Hershuk once more up the middle. To the right, Kanade flips it back in. Here's Pearson chasing down Scholl. Nevers' helmet remains in the defensive zone, just kind of stranded out there a few feet in front of Matthias Scholl. Cross will stop this one at the side of his crease after a Greenville dump in. Can't clear the line. Kept in by Modry. Down low, Hershuk awaits its arrival and fires it all the way up the far side to Kanade. Skate to stick. Kanade turns around, fires, and that one's out of the zone. That'll be an offside. Modry had gloved it down in the neutral zone and skated back into the offensive end. Scholl will leave that helmet for Dominic Valentine, who now delivers it back to the Steelheads bench. 2:05 to go, second period.
Modry
kind
of skied for that ball. He's got a big reach. Basketball's coming into the arena, right?
Yeah, any Big Sky teams looking for some help? Jacob Modry, 6'6", 216. John Parker Jones, 6'7". He's a power forward. Touched into the offensive zone by Pelton Bice all the way down. This one will go for an icing. 1:53 to go in period number 2. Yeah, that's a part of the big road swing for the Steelheads. Not quite the most recent one, or the next one coming up for the Steelheads, I should say. The 7-game road trip. That's not for Big Sky. But early in March, Steelheads on the road against the Norfolk Admirals and the Allen Americans. That will be in large part because the Big Sky basketball tournament here at Idaho Central Arena.
Were the Swamp Rapids in Utah before this?
Have to do some research, but no, they were still a team in Greenville, but by a different name.
No. I meant.
I was like, no, yes, they were in Utah. 3-game sweep of the Utah Grizzlies. Up the middle of the ice. Here's Isogai, left side, getting around Hershuk. Couldn't center it as Hershuk reset in the trapezoid and touched that one aside down low. Pearson back to Hershuk in his own zone. Curls up at the goal line, and Pearson at the far side corner will skate this out. Yeah, the Swamp Rapids with a 3-game sweep over the Utah Grizzlies. They had won 4 games in a row before Wednesday's contest, in which they lost 3-2. Top of the right circle, Malmquist curls up, waits for some help. Right point, Malmquist to the left for Baum. Stops up, fires, wide of the cage, never got a tip he was looking for from Pearson. 1 minute to go in the second period. Launched out to the neutral zone, Baum to the near side for Charlie Dodero. Sets up in his own end, waits for his forwards to reset and get on their routes. Up the middle, Hoffman at the center ice logo, fires this one all the way onto Scholl, and he's forced to glove it for a whistle with 45.1 to go.
That's a smart play. Get an offensive faceoff with 45 seconds to go.
That number 9's a smart guy.
Yeah. I saw all big 3 guys. Mike DePalma, Eric Trapp, and John Cunningham tonight was in the building.
The big 3.
Yeah, the big 3.
The presence is here. See if it results in a win for the Steelheads. Offensive zone draw, down low. Hoffman battles for it there. Lost that on occasion to Modry as he lost his stick down below the goal line. Wall steps up. Arm is up in the air here. Penalty upcoming. And we'll see who heads to the box. It's a holding penalty upcoming here. Couldn't tell who was the one that touched it up at the near side of the ice. And it looks like with who is skating onto the ice in the Greenville power play that the Steelheads will go back to the jack-in-the-box penalty kill. Chris Dodero skating over to the penalty box once more. There you see that initial battle with Hoffman. There's Dodero down low.
Yeah, that was
grabbing the arm just a little bit there.
Just second reach in. Grabbing onto that big body.
So Dodero, who took the penalty at 13-16 for tripping, heads back to the box at 19-25. Offensive zone draw here. Swamp Rabbits lose it. Steelheads get it. They clear it all the way down. 30 seconds to go in the second period. Shots on goal 30-18 for the Steelheads. One rush up the ice here for the Swamp Rabbits as Atkinson will offer a drop pass. Miscommunication as it's all the way back to Scholl in his trapezoid. 15 seconds to go in the second period. Up the far side of the ice. Murphy lays it for Polino. Right up the middle. Left side Isogai. Top of the left circle. He shoots. Stick saved by Cross. 5 seconds to go in the period. Down low. Isogai in front. Turnaround shot by Murphy. Put just wide as the horn sounds. And the second period comes to a close. Isogai slams his stick on the glass. Murphy frustrated as well as the Steelheads thought they might have been down 4-3. Greenville was looking for the lead. Didn't happen. Regardless, we step aside after 2 periods of play from downtown Boise. Back on the other side of the break with Mark Brose downstairs.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
When you need an electrician, you go with the pros. When you need a haircut, you go with the pros. When it comes to heating, cooling, and plumbing, go with the pros at YMC Mechanical. Let YMC protect you and your family with an air scrubber. Effectively used in the International Space Station, Ground Zero Museum, hotel chains, and hospitals. Get it attached directly to your home heating and cooling system. Call today for a $100 discount. Go with the pros at YMC Mechanical and keep your home air cleaner 24/7.
Jack, when you look back on 75 years...
Oh, I'm not looking back. I'm bringing back my Chicken Supreme. It comes in a combo and munchie meal. This juicy fan favorite starts at just $5.49. Are you writing this down? Get the Chicken Supreme munchie meal with collectible jibby.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Welcome to Take 5 Oil Change.
Hey, how long will this take? I'm kind of in a rush.
Just 10 minutes.
Get out! 10 minutes?
Just 10 minutes.
Come on, don't play with me.
And you can stay in your car while we do it.
Get out! I can stay in?
And we'll even top off your fluids for free.
Hold on, you said for free?
Yep.
That's $0.
That's right.
Zero dinero.
No money.
Get out.
And we'll check your tire pressure too.
I mean, y'all are like...
A well-oiled machine.
I was gonna go there, but then it felt obvious. Take 5. The stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
Yeah, definitely. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. See you next week.
Bye.
All right, thanks. All right, take care. Bye, everyone.
Years. That's a lot of stories. Stories of first steps and first checkups. Of an Idaho invention that opened up new terrain. Of fishtails and dad jokes. Of frozen potatoes. As Idaho's first health insurer, Blue Cross of Idaho was there for you then. We're here for you now, and we'll be there for every story to come.
You asked, we listened.
They did it. It's back.
And now it's back. Papa Murphy's Triple Pep Pizza has returned. For a limited time, get 3 types of pepperoni, triple the flavor, triple the sizzle that takes every slice over the top. With giant pepperoni for big, bold bites, classic pepperoni you know and love, and mini cut pepperonis with that crispy crunch. Papa Murphy's Triple Pep Pizza, made fresh in our kitchen, baked hot in yours. Just $10.99 at papamurphys.com.
Steelheads locker room with, I'm going to try to pronounce this name, Nick Canadi.
4 years, Rosie. 4
years.
years.
4 years. You know what? With the Midwest, I'm saying with the R or the A, and you don't get that Italian feel with your last name.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I was messing it up all the way. Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
You were out of the lineup for a while, and what do you think of this game?
Yeah, it's been fun. The environment's awesome. The fans are really loud tonight. I think, from a team standpoint, we got things to clean up here in the third period, and ultimately we win 20 minutes, we win a hockey game. So.
Yeah, a couple familiar faces. Murph is over there and still flying around, but there's some big guys, big Swamp Rabbits, and it's a pretty good matchup. But what do you think of this jerseys here?
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. They look fantastic. I like the colors. Obviously the 2 nights here, Friday, Saturday, are going to a great cause, and all the donations and support help to cancer funds.
So you are pretty much a big football fan. You got a favorite for Sunday?
Yeah, Seattle. We got a little team thing going on, and me and Jason Horvath picked Seattle to win the Super Bowl and make a little bit of money off it. So hopefully that goes our way.
All right. And then the Olympics are, right, almost starting, I think. And has Italy got a hockey team?
They do. They're hosting, so they put together a hockey team, bunch of imports who have their Italian citizenship, and we'll see how they do in the tournament.
All right. So go Italia.
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
All right. Thank you for doing this, and I owe you a lunch.
Yeah, thanks, Rosie.
Okay. Back up to you, Justin.
Thank you, Brosy, from downstairs. Justin back up here with you in the booth. Always fun to hear those chats with Nick Canade and Mark Brose downstairs. Nick's got the Seahawks. I, unfortunately, was a part of that pool. I had the Jaguars. It was just where I picked. Didn't last very long for me, so I'm out of it. Some of my funds are going toward Nick Canade likely when the Super Bowl ends as well if his Seahawks end up winning. But fun times down there in the Steelheads locker room. Steelheads tied with the Greenville Swamp Rabbits right now, 3-3 at the end of 2 periods. Let's take a look at the numbers through the first couple of periods between these two sides. Steelheads had a lead entering period number 2, but they gave up 2 goals to the Swamp Rabbits, as now it is a 3-3 game. Second period shots pretty even, all things considered. 30-18 in total for the Steelheads after that massive first period with 20 shots on goal. Idaho kicking themselves after missing out on taking advantage of a 5-minute power play, and we remain tied 3-3 heading into the final 20. Let's take a look at the scoring and the highlights from period number 2. Lots of it in the early going, as that spin-around shot by Wade Murphy was the first one we saw right off the face-off. Seeing eye wrister beats Ben Cross, top right corner. You could see the head jab there by Cross, frustrated that he couldn't find a way to stop it. But Steelheads would come right back. They'd find a goal on the other end. Mitch Wall battling down low. Chris Dodaro puts it home, and the Steelheads take a lead on that grimy battle down low. Some of those kind of goals you need. Working down low, just getting toward the front of the net. Steelheads cash in to make it a 3-2 game. But not so fast, because coming the other way just moments later was Dante Sheriff, reeling the Steelheads back in and making it an even score heading into period number 3. Sheriff, in game number 200 of his ECHL career, cashes in and makes it a tie game. This is what caused the major power play for the Steelheads. We talked about that first collision with Berg and McDonnell. They kind of touch up at the goal line. It's that extra shove by Berg that gave the Steelheads the 5-minute power play. He went right off to the dressing room for the Swamp Rabbits, so only 5 defensemen the rest of the way for the Swamp Rabbits. Of course, they're already without their starting goaltender. Isaiah Seville went down after taking a couple of shots from Brendan Hoffman, and not typical shots. Hoffman was trailing toward the front of the net, kind of doing a flyby trying to get the puck, and he collided with Seville just outside the crease a couple of times, knocking the Greenville goaltender out of the game to this point at the very least. So we'll see how that affects tomorrow's matchup. We likely would have expected Matthias Scholl in regardless, but Swamp Rabbits a little shorthanded right now, and Steelheads looking to try to take advantage of that in period number 3. We will step aside, and when we return, more to discuss as the Steelheads and Swamp Rabbits continue their battle from Idaho Central Arena.
Life happens. Lucky for you, the new ICCU Central Plus checking account comes with benefits, including cell phone protection.
Wait, through my ICCU checking account?
That's right. Along with a whole lot of other benefits you might need. Because being human is a full-time job.
Welcome to Take 5 Oil Change.
Hey, how long will this take? I'm kind of in a rush.
Just 10 minutes.
Get out! 10 minutes?
Just 10 minutes.
Come on, don't play with me.
And you can stay in your car while we do it.
Get out! I can stay in?
And we'll even top off your fluids for free.
Hold on, you said for free?
Yep.
$0.
That's right.
$0 dinero.
No money.
Get out.
And we'll check your tire pressure too.
I mean, y'all are like...
A well-oiled machine.
I was gonna go there, but then it felt obvious. Take 5, the stay-in-your-car 10-minute oil change.
Hey, grab me one too.
Every day, we lose 22 of our nation's veterans to suicide. The battle for their mental health doesn't end when they return home. These are the heroes that fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs, to help them breathe, to heal, and to find peace again. We believe that nature gives the freedom to heal. At Fireside Pine, our clothing is American-made, veteran-owned, and every purchase helps nonprofit organizations dedicated to veteran mental health. Together, we can give veterans the freedom to heal. Now open at the Village in Meridian.
This is not a blue moon. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. A blue moon isn't a blue moon without a fresh orange.
That's a lot of stories. Stories of first steps and first checkups. Of an Idaho invention that opened up new terrain. Of fishtails and dad jokes. Of frozen potatoes. As Idaho's first health insurer, Blue Cross of Idaho was there for you then. We're here for you now, and we'll be there for every story to come.
Welcome back to downtown Boise. Steelheads hockey, of course, right in the same building as the Grove Hotel. The Grove Hotel, Boise's premier four-diamond downtown location. Idaho and Greenville tied 3-3 heading into the third period. 1 minute and 26 seconds of power play time coming the way of the Swamp Rabbits to start the third. And we'll see if the Steelheads can get a crucial remainder of the kill to kick off the third period action from Idaho Central Arena. Let's take a look now at some out-of-town scores as we peek around the ECHL and the Mountain Division, see what's going on. Oh, somehow Kansas City prevails, a 3-2 win over the Tulsa Oilers. And taking a look at the box score a little deeper, Jackson Berezowski and Jackson Judding score 8 seconds apart in the third period to turn a 2-1 deficit into a 3-2 win for the Kansas City Mavericks. A heartbreaker for the Steelheads there. Kansas City on the board with another couple of points in regulation. Elsewhere across the Mountain Division, we move toward Rapid City and Wichita. The Rush take down the Thunder 3-2. As mentioned, those two teams have been in a battle for fifth place in the Mountain Division. It was Brett Davis late in the third period with under a minute to go, striking on the power play to give the Rush a 3-2 win. Moving on to Norfolk and Allen. The Allen Americans finish off a 4-2 win over the Norfolk Admirals as they take the advantage. They had a couple-goal lead last time we checked in, and they end up finishing that one off with a 2-goal victory. And finally, the Utah Grizzlies visiting the Tahoe Night Monsters early in that game, a 1-1 tie. And actually, taking a peek a little bit further, the second period is just underway, and late in the first period, it looks like Trent Swick had scored. So 4 seconds to go in the first period. It was Trent Swick. So a 2-1 lead for Tahoe. A late one there as the Night Monsters have a narrow lead over the Utah Grizzlies. Preparing for third period action here for the Steelheads and the Swamp Rabbits. Of course, it is pink in the rink. Steelheads wearing their specialty pink in the rink jerseys that you can bid on with a special auction link. We've been showing the QR code. There it is again on your screen. Scan that QR code. That'll take you to the jersey auction link. The auction is live until Sunday at noon, and you can bid on those game-worn jerseys for the Idaho Steelheads. All of the proceeds from the jersey auction will benefit St. Luke's Breast Care Services. And again, the auction is already underway. It ends Sunday at noon. Let's take a quick peek at just some of the numbers. What do we got? Some of the bids. Sam Jardine up to $1,000. That's a pretty solid one for Sam. I see Ty Pelton-Bice and Francesco Arcuri at $700. Jade Miller at $1,100. $1,000 for Jordan Steinmetz. $1,000 for Ben Cross. Nick Canade already gone. The buy now option for Nick Canade. They outbid everyone. $2,500 on the board. The captain's pink in the rink jersey is already gone, but still lots available down the line. Some big numbers as well. $1,100 for Caleb Pearson, $1,500 for Brendan Hoffman, $16 for Charlie Dodero. Get your bids in. You got until Sunday at noon, but as we've outlined with some of these bids already, things are moving fast at our pink in the rink jersey auction. So make sure you get your bids in whenever you can. Scan the QR code on your screen. It'll take you to the jersey auction link. Before we step aside and head back to third period action, some thank yous to hand out here from Idaho Central Arena. First up to Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Idaho Steelheads. Also to Coors Light, cold as the Rockies. Coors Light, choose chill. And finally, to Idaho Central Credit Union, helping members achieve financial success. We will step aside once more here, and when we return, Steelheads and Swamp Rabbits engage in a third period battle. Back with the third period from downtown Boise on the other side of the break.
Every drop in Crater Lake comes from above. Inspiration in its purest form. At Crater Lake Spirits, we call it the spirit of adventure, where every piece of the journey is there for a reason, like in each bottle of our flagship vodka. Distilled from corn, filtered through crushed lava rock and charcoal, it combines the pure taste of Cascade Mountain water with a hint of vanilla on the finish. Find your adventure and embrace it. Vodka, as it's meant to be, from Crater Lake Spirits, the spirit of adventure.
Did you get that?
There's no low with a natural high.
What he said. Need support quitting your vape? Visit projectfilter.org for help.
80 years. That's a lot of stories. Stories of first steps and first checkups. Of an Idaho invention that opened up new terrain. Of fishtails and dad jokes. Of frozen potatoes. As Idaho's first health insurer, Blue Cross of Idaho was there for you then. We're here for you now, and we'll be there for every story to come.
Nestled in downtown Boise, Anthony's is more than just a restaurant, it's an experience. Their commitment to quality is unmatched. Their own seafood company works directly with fishermen and farmers to ensure the finest food arrives at the table bursting with flavor. And don't forget about oysters from the pristine waters of Puget Sound that pair perfectly with a crisp wine or martini. Don't wait. Dive into Boise's best seafood. Reserve your table at anthonys.com and park for free in the Simplot Garage.
I've always wanted to do that.
I've always wanted to do that.
We'll have one of everything. I always wanted to do this.
I always wanted to do that!
Next round on me.
Third period about to get underway at Idaho Central Arena. We are in a 3-3 tie between the Steelheads and the Swamp Rabbits. Steelheads will face just under 90 seconds of penalty kill time to start this third frame, and we'll see if Idaho can get a crucial kill to kick off third period action. The Steelheads right now aiming to pick up a couple of points with a strong third period. You heard Nick Canade in the intermission. If they win these 20 minutes, they win the game. Steelheads, oh, they're pretty good when either leading or tied after 2 periods. 25-1-2 when they're either leading or tied after 2 periods of play. Greenville, when they're tied after 2, 1-4-1-1. Swamp Rabbits, when leading after 2, have a much better record, as you'd expect, 14-0-1. So we'll see what the Steelheads have in store. 20 minutes on the board for the third period. Penalty kill getting ready to go for Idaho, and the Steelheads trying to finish off with a strong 20 minutes. Justin Russo, Mark Brose back with you here ahead of the third period. Brosey, I'd say a strong penalty kill is in order to kick us off in period 3.
Yeah, you know that they're coming after us right from the get-go. We've seen every period has had a fast start to it, and now we're down a man.
Underway in the third, Mastrodonato enters the zone. Swamp Rabbits moving left to right once more in this third period. White jerseys, orange trim, navy pants. Steelheads in their pink in the ring jerseys moving right to left. Kept in at the point, 1:07 to go on the power play. Atkinson top right circle, dishing down low, they score. Keaton Mastrodonato at the side of the net gives the Swamp Rabbits the lead just 23 seconds into period number 3. Heads up play by Atkinson to work it down low for Mastrodonato. And the Swamp Rabbits, who have struggled mightily on the power play this season, pick up their 17th goal on the man advantage to give themselves an early third period lead. Top down look, Brosey. Mastrodonato just getting behind Odero there and finding a spot to tuck it home.
I don't know how he got it in, off the backhand or forehand, but it went in, and hard work down below. So we got some work.
Well, if there's one thing this Steelheads team is good at, it's scoring goals. The number 1 scoring team in the ECHL at 3.74 goals per game. They're below their season average as it stands right now. We'll see if they can pick up another goal to get themselves to 4 and tie this game back up. The third line is out right now. The starters for the Steelheads, Silanoff, Steinmetz, and McDonnell. And along the blue line, Boltman and Punnett. Boltman stops this entry, plays it to Punnett at the near side, and off the near side boards. It's worked all the way down, just out of the reach of Silanoff. Lovell will collect it in between the hash marks in his own zone. Up the far side, touched in by Poisson. And Greenville goes for a change, offering the Steelheads some time to work out of their own end. Punnett with loads of space over the red line, carries some speed, drifting to the right side. Punnett top of the right circle, tried a centering pass, but it was cut off. Punnett narrowly kept the zone as it's back out free to Malmquist, now toward Hershuk, who wheels it back in. Rimmed around, Pearson skates into it there, touches it further below the goal line where it's handled by Fraser. Up the near side, Mastrodonato, who just scored the goal for Greenville, works it up just past Isogai. O'Hara will have to skate into this one, but it's cut off by Cross before the Greenville forward could get to it. At the red line, exit is cut off, but Idaho gets it right back onto the stick of Sam Jardine. Area pass finds Aiden Hershuk, who touches it up toward the red line for Pearson. Dishing right side, Pearson and Pelton Weiss into the zone. Pelton Weiss finds Jardine at the point, skates down into the right circle. Jardine centers one in front. Loose puck now finds Pelton Weiss back to Pearson. His shot was blocked by Fraser. Open net, and Pearson couldn't get it through the defenseman. Down low, Malmquist scores! The Steelheads stick with it on this shift, and the top line ties the game. Just under 18 minutes to go in the third period. Liam Malmquist on the board, his 15th of the season, and the Steelheads are back even with the Swamp Rabbits.
Yeah, you called it, Justin. You said they stayed with it.
This top line relentless, Brosey. As perhaps that's probably one Scholl even once back. Looking back at it as it kind of just snuck by him, but we'll call it the shooter's touch for Liam Malmquist. 44th game of his rookie campaign, 15th goal And Liam Malmquist picks up his 32nd point along the way as well.
One more for a Dinah kid.
Keep adding them on. Something in the air. We're just waiting for Grant Silanoff and Jake Boltman now. Steelheads with it in the offensive zone once more. Baum will try to lift this one toward the net. Glove down and cut off by Lovell. Canade's all over him on the back check, but Lovell's still on it into the offensive zone. Rimming it down low. Dodero cuts it off after it bounced toward the front of the net. And here's Canade at the near side corner, backhanding this puck back to Baum at the far side. Baum, hard pass off the skates of Mason Nevers. It dribbles into the offensive zone. Lovell will spin away and reset to Murphy as it's touched further for a 2-on-2 rush with O'Reilly and Parker Jones. Right side, Parker Jones delays, goes below the goal line. Cross will save it as he gloves it at the side of his crease. Net was dislodged for just a moment and landed back into its proper spot. 17:09 to go in the third, a 4-4 tie. So it was Mastrodonato's 12th of the season, just 23 seconds in from Atkinson and Murphy. Latest tally, Malmquist from Hershuk and Pearson at 2:03 to tie things back up for the Steelheads. Well, they got their fourth goal. Let's see if the offense can find a fifth. Can they get back ahead against this Swamp Rabbit squad? These two teams just can't quit each other, it seems. All week so far, they've been right even. Neither team really pulling away from the other. Swamp Rabbits on it once more offensively. Fraser at the point, shoots this one well wide, was trying for a tip, but never found the stick of his forward in front. Murray now fires this one on. Another missed tip and another save by Ben Cross with 16:50 to go in regulation. Shots on goal, getting closer. 32 for the Steelheads, 21 for the Swamp Rabbits as you take another look at that shot by Murray. Hoffman battling in front, doing just enough to keep Poisson away from tipping that home. The big rig steps back into the face-off dot for a defensive zone draw here. Wins it back cleanly. Hershuk can't quite play it to Jardine as the Swamp Rabbits are all over the Steelheads defense here. Played toward the far side for Wall, takes a beat, launches it into the neutral zone. Dodero's going to chase this one down left side. Left circle, stops on a dime. Dodero taken down to his knees, back up to Hershuk. Puck will just slide down low, back to Dodero left side. Fanned on a pass toward the front, and Hershuk will launch this one down low, cross ice, where it's now handled by the Swamp Rabbits. Far side bracket in front of the penalty boxes. Will lay it back in, where it's touched by Cross and left for Hershuk. Hershuk takes his time in the trapezoid. 16 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the third. Still a 4-4 tie. At the right side. Head up for Jardine. Moves it left for Hershuk. Back to the far end of the ice for Silanoff. He dishes down low for Steinmetz, right circle. Centering in front. McDonnell couldn't get the shot away. Great look from Steinmetz to McDonnell, but some good back checking there by Greenville. All the way into the offensive zone. O'Hara tries to step into this one, cut off by Jeff Baum. He's got some speed over the red line. Baum at the right side, drops that shoulder down low to the backhand, sends one in front, rebound Steinmetz, right side, put wide by McDonnell. Another loose puck at the side of the cage, this time picked up by Atkinson and worked free. Atkinson toward the right, just out of the reach of Mastrodonato as Silanoff steps into that one near side, lays it back toward the half wall. Grant back on it now, finding Steinmetz near side in front of his own bench. Toward the middle, it's to Charlie Dodero. Lost that puck in his skates, turned over to Lovell. Steelheads will get a change, and they'll get back into their defensive posture. Here's Polino over the red line, skating toward the blue and into the offensive zone. Dish down low, Polino got a piece of a shot that was tipped in front, but off the boards and out. 15 minutes to go in period 3, still a 4-4 tie. Some hard forechecking by Pelton Bice, forces a pass near side. Here's Dante Sheriff. Looking to the right side, he's still on the puck at the right circle. He shoots on from a sharp angle, and it's saved by Cross.
You thought it was off his stick, but he still got the shot off.
Yeah.
Man.
That feels like what it's going to take in this game. Bodies in front, a tip in front, battle at the side of the crease. Those are some of the goals that we've seen today. Trying to do anything you can to get a rebound to leak out to the slot. We'll see which team can battle a little harder down the stretch here. Just over 5 minutes gone in the third period, still a 4-4 tie. Offensive zone faceoff for the Swamp Rabbits. Right wing circle. Shandor got a little antsy. Thought they were going to drop the puck. He'll have to skate back to the near side now alongside Boltman. One back by Greenville. Lovell at the point, fires, saved by Cross for another whistle. Little bit extra in front. Boltman involved with Shandor, as those two are now separated.
I just need an old-fashioned A.J. White greasy goal.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Former captain.
Well, I think the new captain's capable of that too. Maybe he's the one that gets it.
A greasy goal?
Yeah.
All right.
I could pencil that one in for Mr. Kanade. We'll see what happens. Cross moves over to his right, defending away from Murray, who drops this one off to Lovell. Left circle, another pass to Sheriff in the high slot. Blocked in front by the Steelheads. Boltman stepped in front, and the Steelheads will get a change of bodies as it's launched all the way down the ice off that deflection. Murray drops this one back to Shandor. Shandor couldn't get it out. Pelton Bice on it. Tries to find his man Malmquist toward the slot, but Lovell cut it off. Sheriff on the forehand. Blasts this one into the offensive end. Punted on it at the far corner toward the front for Pelton Bice. And back once more for Hershuk. Give and go here. Pelton Bice back with it. Looking toward the middle of the ice. Fakes left. Now toward the middle once more. Pelton Bice to the right to Hershuk. Back to Pelton Bice. Has options. Left side just under the stick of Kanade. He rims it around right to left. Hershuk steps in. Once more down low for Kanade in the far side corner. Loses the puck there at the goal line, and it's played in front by the Swamp Rabbits. Fraser to Murphy now. Out of the zone toward the Steelheads defense. They'll receive this puck at their own blue line. Kanade back to Hershuk. At his own blue line once more. Firing up the middle. Into the offensive zone it comes. Nevers playing it down low for Miller. Miller and Kanade both in on the forecheck. Atkinson able to play it though, as it's over the outstretched glove of Hershuk and all the way down. Cross will settle it in his crease as it drifted toward the blue paint, and it comes down for a whistle. 13:26 to go in period number 3. A 4-4 tie between the Steelheads and the Swamp Rabbits. Offensive zone draw coming up here for Greenville. Cross in electing to freeze that puck means that we have no media timeout here, so we play on for the moment. Defensive zone draw for the Steelheads. They lead in the shot department by 10, but they're even in goals. Valentine, the linesman, sees something from the far end of that faceoff and is waving some men around to line up properly. Faceoff taken back, one hard back by the Steelheads all the way to the near side now. Kanade back to Jardine, who backhands this one further to the far end for Hershuk. Hershuk off the far side boards. Touch pass made toward the middle. Now here's Miller with Kanade. Miller's got a step right circle. Fends a man off toward the middle. Never got through to Kanade as a sliding Murray got the stop. Nevers to the right circle for Miller. At the goal line. Spins around far corner. Looks for options. Fires toward the front. Blocked away by Scholl. Near side Murphy works out. 3-on-3 rush for the Swamp Rabbits. Murphy at the right side. Dumps it down low. Hershuk will chop it back toward the trapezoid, where it's now picked up by Dodero. Kanade with lots of space in his own zone elects to go back to his defense. He'll go off for a change. Hershuk and Dodero reset in their own zone. Skating out with some back check pressure behind him is Dodero. Into the offensive zone, off the near side boards to himself. He gets an extra touch on it down low, but it's handled now by Atkinson as he picks it up at the side of the cage. Out toward the neutral zone once more. Greenville works it in left to right. Chasing this one down was Baum, and he'll skate into an icing whistle with 12:25 to go in period number 3. Oh, Brosy, what are you feeling down there? Who's going to get this next goal? I have a feeling who you think might. I hope it's the right team. But it's pretty even so far.
You know, everybody's been playing so well defensively. We haven't had not too many odd man rushes.
Yeah.
So I think it will be a mistake. You know, it'll be a 2-on-1. And it's going to go our way.
Dodero at the point to his brother Chris. Left side, fires, blocker saved by Scholl, and launched all the way down. This will be another icing whistle. Two Dodero brothers trying to combine on another goal there. Chris let it rip from the left side after Charlie fed it over. They've already combined on one goal in this game. Chris scoring from Charlie and Jeff Baum earlier in the contest.
I don't really think he made a save. It just hit him. That was a blast.
Just somehow fought it off. Another offensive zone draw for Idaho. Hoffman will take it, wins it back to the boards. Wall was tied up, but has possession down low at the half wall. Now cut off by Greenville toward the point, all the way out of the zone. Charlie chases this one down in his own end. Moves in front of his goaltender, Cross. Couple of stick handles in between the hash marks. He'll take his time and slow things up Moving it right side for Baum. Stretch pass at the offensive line for Wall. Tied up there by Greenville. Keeps moving along that wall down low. Back to the point. Baum barely keeps the line. Oh, I thought he did. Puck was on its end and just rolled out into the neutral zone. Close call there, but perhaps the right one with 11:47 to go in period number 3. Another look once more, right toward the point and offsides as, barely out for Jeff Baum. Rough break for the Steelheads. We'll step aside from downtown Boise. 4-4 tie between the Steelheads and the Swamp Rabbits.
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits, including 24/7 telehealth.
Wait, through my ICCU checking account?
On it.
Along with a whole lot of other benefits you might need. Because being human is a full-time job.
Steelheads hockey is brought to you by the Blue Cross of Idaho, born of the people and places we know best. Chad Costello and the Greenville Swamp Rabbits engaged in a 4-4 tie with your Steelheads. 11:47 to go in the third period, and a neutral zone draw is sent into the offensive end by Idaho. At the line, Hausinger off the boxes, the penalty boxes at the far side. At the line, it's another offside whistle as Greenville a little bit early entering the offensive zone. 11.5 to go in a 4-4 tie. Steelheads have been excellent in these positions. We talked about their record of 25-1-2 when either tied or leading after 2 periods of play. And of course, you know about Idaho's prowess in third periods, plus 18 goal differential in third periods. For Greenville, that only sits at a +1. Atkinson behind his own net takes his time, surveys his options. On the forehand to the right of his goaltender, he'll launch this one toward the middle of the ice, and it's turned over. Steelheads on it. Hoffman at the right circle, barreling down toward Atkinson, trying to get possession of this puck. Still not cleanly out for the Swamp Rabbits. Dodero and Hoffman hounding Atkinson behind the net. Now he moves it back to the near side for Lovell and further up the wall to Hausinger. Still not out for Greenville. They get it toward the middle of the ice and out of the neutral zone for Brackett, but that group has to go off for a change. Cross stops a hard rim around in his trapezoid. 11 to go in period 3. Punnett receives this back in his trapezoid down low, skates around a check of Mastrodonato. Takes his time, the lefty up the far side ice. Finds his man McDonnell as here's Steinmetz toward the middle. Steinmetz wires one on, saved by Scholl into his glove. 10.5 to go third period, still tied 4-4. Rosie, I think they're taking your advice a little bit, just getting some of these shots on. It's been the simple stuff for the Steelheads to this point in the game.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of guys taking chances, Justin. It's been a bunch of whistles.
Trying to find the flow back into this game, kind of like we had on Wednesday, and really for parts of the second period today. Steinmetz will take this draw. Silanoff lines up directly behind him like he's in an I formation. Left circle, puck is still loose. Steelheads on it. Steinmetz toward the middle. Backhands it to the far side, McDonnell. Right point, down low, into the glove once more of Scholl as, look out, Steinmetz loses an edge toward the crease. And Modry and Silanoff with a couple of shoves after the whistle once more. 10:28 to go in period 3, a 4-4 tie between the Steelheads and Swamp Rabbits. Steelheads enjoying some home hockey this week. 3 games at home before 7 on the road to come up. They're in Utah on Tuesday as a part of one of their makeup games that was postponed as a result of the players' strike back in December. After that Utah game on Tuesday, 3 against the Wichita Thunder, and going right to Reno to bus up to Tahoe for another 3 against the Night Monsters before they're back home on February 25th against the Wichita Thunder. Offensive zone draw, Steelheads on it, right in front, Steinmetz puts it wide. Arm is up in the air, and a chop down and a slash will send someone to the box here. It looks like it was pointed toward one of the Swamp Rabbits initially. But we shall see as we get the call. 2 minutes on the board. Indeed, it is O'Hara going to the box. It looked like it at first, but as the Steelheads had touched up that puck, wasn't sure who they had. So, once more, an ICCU power play for the Steelheads at a very crucial time of the game. Ryan O'Hara heads off, 2 minutes for slashing. Steelheads back to the man advantage. Can they make amends for what they didn't do in the second period? And that was score on their 5-minute advantage. 5-on-4. Right circle draw. Hoffman wins it back cleanly to Baum, right point. Power play beginning for the Steelheads. Right side Pearson, high slot, fires, blockered away by Scholl. Left side Malmquist back on it. Toward the right once more, Pearson, high slot, curls and drags, shoots one on, loose puck in front, back to Malmquist, left circle. He chases it down and lays it down low. Here's Hoffman in the trapezoid, trying to bank this one off of Scholl. Can't do so, rimmed around to the far side. Pearson cuts it off. Right circle, Pearson steps in, down low to Hoffman, back up high to Baum. Baum, left side Malmquist. Malmquist takes his time, curls back up, back to the point for Baum, right side to Hoffman. High slot, Hoffman shoots, blocked in front, loose puck out to the point, nicely kept in by Baum. Right side Pearson once more, top of the right circle, down low, Hoffman saved by Scholl. Make it Pelton Bice with that sharp angle shot. Hoffman was parked in front, Pelton Bice from a sharp angle saved by Scholl. 9:39 to go in the third, 1:17 left on the Steelheads power play. Brosey, some more good chances for Idaho though, even though they didn't score.
Yeah, give it to the Swamp Rabbits. They're taking away a lot of time and space, and they're blocking shots. And I don't like that.
Tell these Swamp Rabbits to get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Can we get Jimmy Carter back here? Maybe they'll start chasing him down, like you said on Wednesday.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people looked that up. It happened.
Just all kinds of quirky stories with Swamp Rabbits.
Oh, you can't get away from them.
Steelheads back on it in the offensive zone. Baum fires, blocked wide of the post. Here's Hoffman near side. Looking to Pelton Bice down low. Couldn't get the rim around he was looking for. A fanned on clear and a second chance. Not quite out. Steelheads keep it in. Malmquist right side. Greenville couldn't clear the zone. Left side Malmquist, top of the left circle. Drop pass Baum. One more to Pearson right side. Looking backdoor. Hoffman couldn't find him. Back to Malmquist left side. 50 seconds to go on the power play. This top unit hungry for a goal. Right circle Pearson. Taken down low below that goal line. Back in front. Pelton Bice saved by Scholl. Kept in the zone. Malmquist spins around. Finds Pelton Bice right circle. Back to Hoffman. He fires. Blockered aside. Up into the netting. That was Pearson with the shot. Beg your pardon. Hoffman parked down low. Pearson with a one-time blast. Blockered up and out of play.
How about the no-look pass from Malmquist?
These guys credit Pelton Bice with some of the looks, too. And well, that rung iron. Didn't even hear that on the first try.
Yeah, I didn't hear that on the first try.
Here's the look for Pearson. Oh, it hit the crossbar. Great replay there by our crew, picking up the audio, too, of that ping off the iron. 35 seconds to go to the penalty to O'Hara. 9 to go in the third period. The top unit remains on, desperately looking for a goal. They win another face-off. Back to the point for Baum. Has some pressure, fires it down low. Blocked in front by Murray. Can't get the clear. Baum steps up into it. Pelton Bice offers a touch down low. Skated into by Pearson. Battles down low with his man. Penalty coming up. Steelheads will go to the penalty kill the next time they touch the puck. And the whistle sounds as Ben Cross lays it up to the side of his goal line. Pearson will head off after that battle down low. He heads to the box with 16 seconds to go on the Steelheads power play. Here's another look at it. Pearson trying to cut in front on Atkinson. Ended up just kind of jumping over the back of number 59, taking him down. And Idaho will go to a jack-in-the-box penalty kill after 16 seconds of 4-on-4 play.
Yeah, when you jump up in the air and maybe grab a hold of the guy and he falls down, you're kind of asking for it.
Yeah. Simple call there for the officials.
Very enthusiastic forecheck.
Yeah, putting it lightly. Enthusiasm on the forecheck. Of course, he was trying to just get position, keep that play alive in the final stages of the power play, but the enthusiasm spilling over just a bit for number 8. He heads to the box. 8:38 to go in the third, a 4-4 tie, and a 4-on-4 portion of the game as number 44's got the puck. In his own trapezoid, he'll spin around, dish it near side to Jade Miller. Miller takes his time for the stretch pass all the way down. This will be an icing for the Steelheads. So 4 seconds of 4-on-4 play remaining. And the Steelheads will hope for a defensive zone faceoff win here to get an early clear, as waiting to get out of the box is O'Hara to start a power play for the Swamp Rabbits. Draw comes all the way down to the right of Ben Cross. This is a penalty-killing unit on for the Steelheads, recognizing what is about to play out here in 4 seconds' time. Miller, Nevers, Boltman, and Punnett on the ice for this PK. 8:26 to go, third period. 1 to the board. Steelheads trying to force it out. Battle along those far side boards ensues. O'Hara gets out of the box, skates all the way toward the bench. Here comes Murphy. 5-on-4 here for Greenville. Left side, one-timer, top of the circle, saved by Cross. Boltman's on it, banned on the clearing attempt, kept in by Greenville at the point. Murphy, left point toward the middle for Atkinson. To the right side, Mastrodonato. Drifting down from the right side. Here's Atkinson once more at the point. Skating into this one as Isogai fires, blocked in front. 1:20 to go on the power play. Atkinson to the left once more for Isogai. Down low to the backside of the play. Mastrodonato never got the shot away. Isogai once more, top left circle. Center point now, right side Atkinson. Isogai, top of the left circle, lets it rip, and a save made by Cross in front. Puck is loose in front of the crease, knocked back to the point and out of the zone for the Steelheads. Crucial clear there for Idaho as they get it back to the neutral zone. They won't get any fresh bodies on the ice quite yet, though, as now they do. Greenville plays it back to their own end, missing a pass. 45 seconds left to go on Greenville's power play. Atkinson over the red line, trying to skate into the offensive zone, taken away from the puck, cleared back out once more by Idaho. Stingy at their own blue line.
Well, we went from a crucial power play to a crucial kill.
Life hits you fast, Brosy, doesn't it?
Yeah. 20 seconds left in it.
Here's Sheriff with a cross-ice dump in. It'll be found by O'Hara and Hershuk down low as Hershuk wins the battle. Sheriff kept it in. Right circle with space. O'Hara centering pass, blocked back to him. Sheriff on it high in the zone. Right side O'Hara. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Drifting down low. Tried to play it back to the point. Cut off by the Steelheads. Idaho's on it. They get the clear all the way down as Hershuk stepped into it. 2 seconds and 1. Out of the box is Caleb Pearson. We're back to even strength with 6.5 to go in the third period. Another tie game late in the third period for these two teams. Who, if anyone, can find a go-ahead goal in the trapezoid? At the near side now, it's played back to the middle for Greenville in their own zone. A long saucer pass out of the reach of Murphy. This will be an icing against the Swamp Rabbits. 6:18 to go in period 3. 4-4 tie and an offensive zone draw coming up for the Steelheads. The second line of Chris Dodero, Brendan Hoffman, and Mitch Wall on to take it. The big rig will line things up here as he goes against O'Reilly.
Another big rig.
Lots of them out here. Dodero right point, shoots one on, blocked aside. Steelheads never got a tip. It went off of a Swamp Rabbit and down low. Hoffman at the side of the cage tries to bang it home. Where's the puck? Scholl is on it in the blue paint. 6:06 to go in period number 3. A 4-4 tie. Steelheads with another good look, but they can't quite find the back of the net. Hoffman with the latest chance as we step aside from downtown Boise. Back with more third period action on the other side of the break from Idaho Central Arena.
Every day, we lose 22 of our nation's veterans to suicide. The battle for their mental health doesn't end when they return home. These are the heroes that fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs, to help them breathe, to heal, and to find peace again. We believe that nature gives the freedom to heal. At Fireside Pine, our clothing is American-made, veteran-owned, and every purchase helps nonprofit organizations dedicated to veteran mental health. Together, we can give veterans the freedom to heal. Now open at the Village in Meridian.
Hey, grab me one too.
Welcome back inside Idaho Central Arena, where Steelheads hockey is brought to you by St. Luke's Sports Medicine, the official doctors of the Idaho Steelheads. Steelheads on looking there in their pink in the rink jerseys. 6:06 to go, trying to find a way to get a go-ahead goal and avoid overtime in a shootout like we had on Wednesday. Steelheads in their pink in the rink jerseys that you can head over to and bid on at our jersey auction link. QR code that we've been showing you all night. Scan the QR code. We'll try to get it on the screen for you in just a second. Scan it, bid on the jerseys until Sunday at noon, and the game-worn jerseys could be yours if you're the highest bidder for the Steelheads game-worn pink in the rink jerseys. There's the QR code. Scan it, send to the jersey auction link, and get your favorite Steelhead jersey. Under 6 minutes to go in period 3. Steelheads keep it in at the offensive zone. Wall at the right circle. Drifts away. Dishing down low for Dodero. Quick on the puck. Good stick handling from Dodero. Up high to his brother Charlie. Blocked in front. Charlie back to Chris. Winds up and fires. Saved in front. Hoffman trying to get a stick on it. He's tied up in front. Down low. Brackett skates away from pressure in his own zone. And at the left wing side will enter the offensive end. Taken to the boards by Dodero. Left the puck behind for a moment. Now it trails up behind him. Taken down by Dodero now, as Jeff Baum has some space to play this puck in his own end. Curls back up in the trapezoid. Baum, the lefty, toward the middle of the ice once more. Finds some more free space. Stretch pass all the way up for Nevers. Was tipped. No icing, but it evades number 21. D-to-D pass to the far side for Modry. To Parker Jones out of his own end. Over the red line and over the blue. He'll backhand this one in. Punt it. Down low. Backhands it back to the far side corner as it's deflected toward the crease. Cross will just hop on it for a whistle. And unhappy with the presence of big John Parker Jones, he gives a little whack to number 95 as well for his troubles. 4:57 to go in period 3. 4-4 tie. Shots on goal 40-25 for the Steelheads as we enter the final stages of the third period. For our radio audience on KTIK, we step aside for the final time in period number 3. Back with more on KTIK. For those of you still with us in our television and streaming audience,
I'm
welcome.
here. I'm
Yeah,
in.
Brosie's still here. I'm still here. Let's take a look at our Kendall Ford and Meridian play of the game. It's been a 4-4 game for quite a while here. Lots of goals to choose from for the Steelheads, and the play of the game comes in the way of this tally for Idaho. Hershuk down low to Malmquist, right circle. That's the latest one on the board for the Steelheads as they make it a 4-3 game at that point, or 4-4 game, excuse me, at that point. Tying it 2:03 into period 3. Taking a look at the crowd at Idaho Central Arena today. The attendance, as you'd expect here from downtown Boise, 5284. Sellout number 23 for this Idaho Steelhead squad. And just as they did on Wednesday, Brosie, these fans are getting a good show tonight.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This is really good hockey. And, you know, Kralls is just a wall there, but, you know, we're seeing an effort by a backup goalie. Or, well, you know, he's played a few games, but Scholl's been pretty acrobatic in net for the Swamp Rabbits.
And regardless of how many games you've played, it's always hard to come in like that. Every goalie prepares as if they're going to play, right? Even the backups. But it is a little tougher when you don't start the game, you don't get into a rhythm early on, to have to just come in and start making some saves. And he's done a great job of that so far. Here's Miller into the offensive zone, 3-on-3 rush, right side. Miller drops the shoulder toward the front, and there is Scholl making a save just to his left. 4:44 to go, a 4-4 tie. 41 shots on goal for the Steelheads. Any other fours, Brosie? Any thoughts? Jake Holtman's number 44. He's on the ice right now.
Just a lot of talk after each whistle.
Just slowly building up over the course of the week, right? The physicality, the post-whistle antics. It just
this is still a Friday night game. We got one more tomorrow.
Steelheads will get a late change of their forward group. They take off the Kanade, Miller, and Nevers group. The top line comes on. Pelton, Weiss, Malmquist, and Pearson. Boltman and Punnett remain along the blue line. 41 shots for the Steelheads, as mentioned, just 25 for Greenville. Back to the point, kept in by Punnett, skates into this one right circle. Punnett on the backhand, centering in front, just missing Pelton Weiss. Near side, Murphy on his horse on it. 2-on-2 rush for Wade Murphy. dumps this one down low. Cross will stop it in the trapezoid and almost run into by Parker Jones. Steelheads avoid a catastrophe there. Pearson at the near side with a rink-wide pass all the way to Malmquist. Cuts inside, dishes off to Pelton Weiss. They lost possession of the puck along the blue line as the other way come the Swamp Rabbits. Working down low is O'Reilly. Cross once more stops this puck in his trapezoid. Fires it on in Mastrodonato at the right side as Cross was trying to get back to his crease, but it was stopped in front by the Steelheads defense. Here's Pelton Weiss. Off the boards in front of the penalty boxes. Dished down low by Malmquist. That unit now goes for a change. Jardine and Hershuk along the blue line as that Miller, Kanade, and Nevers group is back on. Under 4 minutes to go in period number 3. A 4-4 tie between the Steelheads and Swamp Rabbits. Deflected puck bounces into the Steelhead zone. Jardine picks it up down low but has trouble exiting his own end. Pressed to the boards was Jade Miller as he takes his man to the boards too. Kanade will skate into this puck into the offensive zone. Kanade on it, right circle, has to go down low below the goal line. Centering pass up to the point. Hershuk cuts in, has space, high slot. Hershuk fires! Save made by Scholl. What a play by Kanade and Hershuk, finding some open ice. Kanade with the effort down low and Hershuk with the release. But Scholl comes up big once more. Traffic in front too with Nevers and O'Hara in front of him, and he finds his way through it, fights through it, and picks up a save and a whistle. 3.5 to go, third period. It's a 4-4 tie. Miller takes this offensive zone draw. Steelheads had it for a moment. Knocked down below the goal line for Fraser. To Sheriff. He clears the zone. And toward the red line, Kanade pokes it free to an area to the right side where it's launched in on net. Cross will stop it. Oh, keep it in play. Thought he was going to get on it for a whistle, but he keeps it alive. Steelheads still trying to exit their zone. Jardine will just offer a soft touch pass out to the red line as the Steelheads do get the clear. Greenville thought about a quick entry. They'll now curl back in their own zone. Up the middle of the ice is Murray. Hard back check by Silanoff creates a turnover. Here's Nevers working his way around one man, but Sheriff collects the puck now in his own end. Steinmetz and Silanoff in on the forecheck. Lifted out to the neutral zone. McDonnell, the third member of that unit, comes on. Jeff Baum finds his puck all the way down low, and it's ruled as an icing whistle as it evaded McDonnell, evaded Jeff Baum, and went down below the goal line. Offensive zone faceoff, 2:44 to go for the Steelheads. A 4-4 tie. Lots of extra hockey lately for this Idaho team. January 24th, a couple of weeks back, an overtime win over Allen. 2 of the games against Tulsa last weekend went to overtime, and we went to a shootout on Wednesday. But the key for the Steelheads, they won every single one of those games. Can they find another one in them? Draw one back to McDonnell, knocked aside off his stick back to the neutral zone. Steelheads will reset at neutral ice. Baum lays it back in. Kept in momentarily and now worked out to the neutral zone. Silanoff was battling with Fraser in front of the Swamp Rabbit bench. It's lifted by Murray all the way down to Dodero. He gloves it down and plays it. Keeps it himself now. The far side corner. Long pass. Steelheads were kind of shielding themselves away from that puck they thought might have ended up in the bench. It came off the boards just to the side. Back down low. Greenville on it in their own zone, exiting their ice. Hoffman with a turnover here into the offensive end. Left circle. Hoffman fires wide to the right side of the cage. It rims all the way down. Steelheads will have plenty of time to pick the puck up in their own zone and work free with 2 minutes to go in regulation. Head up for Punnett to the right side for Wall. Just couldn't handle this puck there as it's skated into by Boltman. Rim down right to left. Picked up by Lovell near side. Lovell now gets the clear with Mastrodonato, though he fanned on a centering pass, and the Steelheads are back on it with Punnett in their own end. Right side Boltman looks over his options. Long stretch pass near side to Dodero. Battles into the zone with Lovell. Hoffman on it too. At the half wall, those two teams battle. 2-on-2. Trying to dig it free as Hoffman. He does to Wall. Center ice. Wall shoots. Blocked in front. Hoffman, meanwhile, battling down low. Tumbled down with Lovell. Under 90 seconds to go. Mastrodonato gets around one man left side. Sharp angle shot goes over the cage and into the netting for another whistle. 1:16 to go in period 3. 4-4 tie. Little one's going to get the puck there. Oh, which one? 2 of them come walking down. There we go. Maybe they can share custody of their new souvenir. Last chance by Mastrodonato. Sharp angle. Cross a good job protecting at the short side. Defensive zone draw for the Steelheads with a $1:16 remaining. 4-4 tie. Pelton Bice will step in to take the draw. They will have to drop it again after a false start. Pelton Bice wins it back to the corner where Jardine handles it. Near side Malmquist took a beat, couldn't clear the zone, back to the point. Shandor tries to play it down low, and his pass was cut off by the other 17, Pelton Bice, as it's sent to the neutral zone. Greenville will touch up after a delayed offside. Jardine handles the puck down low once more, dishing right side, and Steelheads will not quite get it out. Now they'll poke it to the neutral zone. They tried to get a little bit more of a heads-up play, but Jardine finally knocked it free. 45 seconds to go in regulation. Fans getting antsy, looking for one late goal here for their Steelheads. Back in front of the Swamp Rabbits bench, turned over here. Here's Pearson, in with Pelton Bice. Left circle, Pearson shoots, pad save by Scholl. Got the left pad on it. Down low, looking for a centering pass was Pelton Bice. He is stopped in the trapezoid by 3 Swamp Rabbits. As down low, it's picked up by Shandor at the far side boards. Shandor works it out of the zone, stops up at the penalty boxes, turns back, launches it to the Steelheads defense where it's gloved down by Hershuk. 15 seconds to go in regulation. Wheeled in by Hershuk. They're going to have to go for a change as it's picked up by Fraser. Lifted back out into the neutral zone. One more look here with 5 seconds. Hausinger on it, right point. Drops it back for Brackett. Right circle, he shoots. Never got through, and the horn sounds to go to overtime. Excellent block in front by Malmquist and Baum, laying out to prevent that chance for the Swamp Rabbits. For the second straight game in this series and for the third straight game for the Steelheads, we head beyond regulation. Steelheads selling out in the final moments to make sure their goaltender is well protected. To overtime we go once more. What more would you expect in pink in the ring?
Oh, man.
Steelheads head to the extra frame. Oh, we just touched on these numbers yesterday, but you can update, on Wednesday, I should say. You can update them +1 for each side. Greenville now 9 games played in overtime, 3-4 record in OT, 1-1 in the shootout. Their lone loss, of course, on Wednesday. Steelheads, to this point, 11 games in overtime, 5 wins, 3 losses. They were a perfect 3-0 in the shootout. And the man they have in net right now, Ben Cross, has all 3 of those wins. Felt like we didn't get a full, true 7-minute 3-on-3 overtime yesterday, or on Wednesday, because of that penalty kill for the Steelheads. They had to defend 4-on-3. That led to a significant portion of 4-on-4. And we didn't really get to see that back and forth 3-on-3 nature. Let's see if we can get to it now. 4-4 tie. Who will be the hero? Will we find him in overtime? We shall see. Touched on number 8. He's got a special knack for post-regulation clutch plays in this building. 2 shootout goals, 2 overtime goals for Caleb Pearson in these situations. Who can be the hero here for Idaho? Steelheads have 2 overtime goals from Hoffman, 2 from Pearson, 1 from Miller. They possess after the opening faceoff. Here's Jeff Baum up the middle. He's got Angus McDonnell to his right, and now he finds Jordan Steinmetz into the offensive zone. Steinmetz drops the shoulder, right half wall, looks back toward the point for Baum and finds him. Jeff will just reset as he didn't have the proper positioning there and take his time at 3-on-3. It's all about possession in this overtime. McDonnell up the ice, has some space, left circle, curls up at the left faceoff dot. McDonnell toward the point, fake the drop pass, now gives it to Baum. Baum toward the middle, trying to get to the forehand, never could. Knocked aside by Scholl. The 2 teams battle. Lovell's back on it, taken to the boards. Still they battle. Lovell is on it, and possession to Greenville with 6:15 to go in overtime. Lovell swirls around, finds O'Hara left side, gets a step on Baum, down low. O'Hara tried a centering pass, blocked by Dodero to the far side corner. Dodero leaves this puck for Jeff Baum there as a change is made by Greenville. They'll get a couple of extra bodies on. Steelheads with new bodies too. Here's Caleb Pearson up the left side. Pearson, left circle, trying to go toward the middle. Good defensive play by Atkinson to separate him from the puck. 5:45 to go in overtime. Maybe a 2-on-1 here. Dodero's back defending. Atkinson and Mastrodonato. Atkinson toward the front. Blocked by Dodero as he laid out. Great play by 81. Still in the offensive zone, though. It's laid down low for Atkinson. Couldn't find the puck. One of the Steelheads and Dodero's without a stick. Not a good spot here for Idaho. Mastrodonato right circle, he scores. You felt it coming. Mastrodonato gets the overtime winner. Steelheads were without a stick in the late stages, and the Swamp Rabbits find a way to pick up the extra point with a 5-4 overtime win. Steelheads found their magic on Wednesday with a shootout victory, but Greenville prevails in overtime here on a Friday night. Tough spot for Charlie Dodero to be in, especially at 3-on-3, kind of in no man's land without a stick. And it took one try for Mastrodonato to beat Ben Cross and give the Swamp Rabbits the victory. Well, a tough one there, Brosy. Tough loss for the Steelheads, but man, still 3 points to this point in the weekend. Rubber match coming up tomorrow. Still in a good spot, even though their win streak has ended, their point scoring streak survives and moves to 7 games.
Yes, Saturday night.
Should be a fun one tomorrow. I can't understand how it wouldn't be a fun one, given what we've seen so far. 2 overtime games, one going into the shootout. These two teams tight as could be. Let's take a listen to the Idaho Central Credit Union 3 stars of the game. Jeff Baum.
Tonight's
the
Idaho
star.
Central Credit Union second star from the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. It's number 16, Wade Murphy. Tonight's Idaho Central Credit Union first star from the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. It's number 8, Keaton Mastrodonato.
There you go with your Idaho Central Credit Union 3 stars of the game. Keaton Mastrodonato, your first star. Wade Murphy, the second star. And Jeff Baum of the Steelheads, third star honors. Final score on a Friday night from downtown Boise, Greenville 5, Idaho 4. Big thanks to Mark Rose for joining us tonight on the broadcast, as we will head to post-game coverage on the other side of the break from Idaho Central Arena.
We love our house, but lately we've been feeling a little cramped.
So we talked to ICCU about a new home loan.
The process was super quick, and we got a really great rate.
We start house hunting tomorrow.
Preferably something with a bigger garage.